Wah, 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 wah. Hello, everyone. Wait, what is it? It is Saturday night, and it's all right for a fight. It's all right for a Star Trek as well. Saturday Night Star Trek is what I'm trying to say. In my non-Christmassy way, Merry Christmas to you today, or whatever. And that's what I was waiting for, folks. Oops. Welcome, everyone, to CLOBBERIN Times SEO number 270 on YouTube, 970 overall. What a great crowd we got piling up this evening already for 4 more episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation. Not only that, our last Saturday Night Star Trek of the year. That's all, folks, the year. Don't panic.
I'm going to miss you all.
Yes, indeed. But we'll be back.
I know. I'm just going to miss
after
everyone.
A brief hiatus.
Everyone is just, I don't know. This community has become a real community. Actually, I know lots of people say that on these streams, but it really has become a family here. And there are just so many dynamic and wonderful people. And I just enjoy their company immensely. It's going to be a difficult 2 weeks. I'm going to miss you all.
Yeah, but look at it this way, folks. We did 51 straight without missing 1 week. The 51. This is Sat Trek, Saturday Night Star Trek number 51. Yeah. I never announced the number that much. So that ain't too bad, is it? That ain't too bad, is it?
Zathras, crap, says, Raquel, use the time to finish B5. Not only is that excellent advice, I will finish B5, but I am reading a book called Sapiens that I need to finish, and it's more of a textbook than a book. And so I really need to dedicate the time to remembering the contents of this textbook. So I need to finish that. And Zathras and others, I have some very good news. This beautiful community that has stood behind me, having people like Edie, Enigmatic Drop Bear, and several others saying, Raquel, you're going to get through your writer's block. You're going to get through it. You're going to finish your short story collection. I have some wonderful news for you. I have a story in the can. It's just going through the final edit, and then I'll be publishing it. So that's what I'll also be doing with those 2 weeks. So I thank you all for your love and your support. It means the world to me. You guys are the best and true friends among friends. I love you all.
Did you see ED?
No, I haven't, but he was one of the people. Eric and Enigmatic Drop Bear were 2 of the people who, when they found out I had writer's block, they were like, Raquel, you can't give up. You have writer's block because the whole process is not good anymore. It's very difficult to publish now. They want you to do all the different stages, and it could be very defeating, very disheartening. Before, when you used to publish, you used to have a publishing house behind you, and you had some supports, and you were able to complete a brief, and you felt like you were really, working to get something done. And it's very difficult to do in complete isolation, all these different stages of writing and publishing all on your own. And so Eric and Enigmatic Drop Bear and a few others came forward and said, look, we love you. Don't give up. We love your stories. We love you. Don't give up.
Is Enigmatic Drop Bear here? Because I can't. There he is. Okay.
Is he here?
I see you. I just have the chat's going so fast on me. We're going to. We'll say our hellos in just a second, but I wanted to be sure of that. And speaking of that, before we do our show notes, why don't you tell everyone about your wonderful works while I get everything else ready?
Thank you so much for supporting my work, one and all. I love you all so much. As I was alluding to just a few seconds ago, publishing houses aren't supporting authors anymore, and they certainly aren't supporting works like short story collections. They don't want them anymore. So it's been really difficult for me. So I've broken up all of the stories, and rather than completing a brief and completing a contract on a short story collection, I'm just writing them one at a time, releasing them, selling them for under $1 on Amazon. They're only 74 cents, I believe, American a piece. And hoping that a publishing firm will see that, yeah, people do like the stories, and maybe they'll back me. So if you wanted to support my work, if you like Edgar Allan Poe, Philip K. Dick, if you like H.G. Wells, you might like my stories. So they're available on your Kindle device, and they're also available on Amazon to download to your Apple or your Android device. And unfortunately, they're not in a physical form yet, but your support will help get me over that line. And I just want to say thanks to Enigmatic Drop Bear, Narada Anaximanda Bear, Hungry Boy, J-Man, everyone who has backed my work and really come forward and given me some incredible reviews and just been wonderful. JT Kirk, I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting an indie artist like me. It means the world to me.
Well, yes, we do appreciate you. Well, we just have such a great group, don't we?
We do. True friends.
Yep. Let's see here. Well, I think we will do. What am I looking for? Sorry. We're looking for. Sorry, I was just make sure I got my list. Well, we'll do our hellos, I guess, after we do a few show notes. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see here. Let's see. Make sure I got it. Okay. Oh, sorry for the pinging.
That's okay.
It's not my fault. It is my fault because I keep. Sorry, Mark. That's from our great chief engineer, by the way. But let's see here. Show notes, everyone, before we get started. Monday night, excuse me. I forgot. Sunday night. We have a Sunday night Clobbering Time special. Spoiler-filled review of the new film Spider-Man No Way Home. With guests, of course, great chief engineer Mark D with the C, and our great buddy J-Man and his great buddy Sean, and a possible appearance by the great 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. But we won't hold him to that. If he can make it, great. If not, that's okay. But Mazer says I've invited Jason from Sci-Fi from Miniature. Oh, well, welcome, Jason, if he shows up. Hope to see him. Thank you, Mazer.
And for Zathras, ping.
Ping indeed. Whatever that means.
I always do Zathras's requests. So when he says ping or crap, I make sure I do it.
Well, we got to take care of Zathras now.
We do.
Zathras. Let's see here. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow night. A big review of a bunch of geeks talking about the new record-breaking film, Spider-Man No Way Home. Looking forward to that. So, but be warned, it will be spoilery and mixed spoilerness.
Yeah, but it's going to be glorious.
I don't know about all that, but it'll be fun. Glorious. Look, that's Raquel hyping that, folks. If it's not glorious, then I'll have to give you your money back. But
everyone in the chat supports me because whenever Clobby goes off on a review of anything, it's always glorious, right, team?
But what happens if I like it though? Will that be a disappointment?
No, I think they'll actually celebrate with you. I think that they're just looking for honest reviews, and that's why they love you. That's what makes your reviews glorious. Is you pander to none, you never groupthink, and you're passionate and knowledgeable. So it's going to be glorious.
Yes, I hope so. Well, Mazurus, she says, sounds like some people are quite ready to. What's that? Quite ready to spoil No Way Home? Well, yeah, I mean, everyone's already been doing it. People have been doing streams since it came out the other night. We decided to, in the name of decency, when we did our Thursday night, a lot of people haven't had a chance to see it yet. So, we wanted to wait, but which is fine to me. You can do it whenever you want. They can do their streams whenever you want. We thought Sunday would probably be enough for the hardcore. That's far enough. The hardcore getting to see it, but we'll put we'll put the traditional warnings out, of course.
But that is a respectable distance. I respect that distance, and I think that's a decent distance. It's
decent, yeah.
And it's enough to keep the momentum going if it is a good film. If it is a good film and you guys give it the gold star, it also allows those who are waiting on those reviews to rush to the theater to help that momentum going forward, to support a film that I dare say might actually be a film that we can all actually enjoy.
Please, by the way, Phantom, that's getting borderline. I mean, let's not have anyone spoiling it in the chat either, shall we?
Don't do it.
Don't. I mean, that's...
Hold your fire.
Yeah, please. I mean, I can't believe I have to say that, but yeah, let's not. We're being nice here, so don't. Please, I'm asking anyone not to spoil it here in the chat.
Yes.
Just
hold your fire. That's an order.
No one's seen it yet. Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk. The great Stu and Loki will join me. It'll be Christmas with the superheroes. We will review some wonderful superhero cartoons, Christmas-related superhero cartoons, in this case, DC cartoons. We'll review Christmas with the Joker, Comfort and Joy from the Justice League cartoon, for Batman Brave and the Bold, Invasion of the Secret Santas, and Party Animal from Justice League Action. So, and some animation fun, because we once a month we do only saying I think. Okay. Oh, I got you. Well, well, you still baited me into saying something that gave a different
Yeah, Nirad Anaximandabear says, I don't watch movies unless the people around me say they're good. That's really all we can do nowadays, right? Nirad Anaximandabear, we have to look for people like Clobby to behave as our subject matter experts who are our Siskel and Ebert, because now there are so many shills and there's so much BS out there that you don't know what to believe. So it will be nice to hear what Clobby has to say. So I'm also looking forward to it, Nirad.
Well, here we go then. So these are our show notes. Why don't we start with our hellos?
Yes, let's do it.
And then we'll get a move on to the reviews. What do you think?
Let's do it, boss.
All right. Well, I hope I've got everyone here. So the great Mark D with the C, of course, our chief engineer. The great Eric K is here.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you. I love you.
Another great master of wrenching. I think I did spot Mr. Chris Persia here.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you too.
Indeed. Felicianos, Raymond, and Sandra. Yay! Hello there, Felicianos. Steve Mitchum, I think he's out there driving, but I know I spotted him in the chat. So, yo, buddy.
Kiss Maddie for me.
Snorta Poopas.
Snorta Poopas!
Cuba!
Who is now on Twitter, and everyone's spazzing over it. Everyone's freaking out. Esh Singh actually said that we needed to have a celebration. Esh was so excited that Snorty's on Twitter. So, folks, Snorty, we have actually finally convinced Snorta Poopas
Cuba
to get his little hiney on Twitter. He's there. Go find him. Follow him.
Wow, you're popular, Snorty. You've been patting your bra or something? Let's see here. The Comic Relief Crusader. Hey. The great LT is here, Lord Thoth.
LT!
Wolfie is here. Kalel 48, buddy. Hey.
Sweetheart.
Mr. Angel.
Hello, Chef.
Good to see you. I had to call him Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete! And family, I love you.
Indeedishness. D-Bud Martin, I do believe I saw the D-Bud here.
Evening, hun.
Phantom Outsider, buddy.
Good evening. Nice to see you. Looking forward to your comments tonight.
Hungry boy.
Yeah, sweetheart of a human being. I'm so happy you're here. Good to see you. Can't wait to see your comments tonight.
Good to see you, buddy. As always, glad to see you here. Enigmatic Drop Bear, ED.
Yes, the other bear. It's the other bear who we love. Mwah, mwah.
Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, hello. It's so good to see you.
Stuart Mitchell, always a pleasure, my friend. Never forget. Dolly had braces.
Railroad tracks.
Yes, that too.
We love you, Stuart.
Good to see you, Stuart. Thank you for being here, sir. Tyrell72, welcome, my friend.
Hey, Tyrell.
I do believe we saw Snail Messiah snailing around back there.
Put your forks away. Put your escargot forks away and your garlic butter. Put it away. The Snail Messiah is in the house.
I bet that makes him nervous. Near the bear.
Another bear.
We got a lot of bears here. We have a lot of bears hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Sathras is here.
Crap, crap, crap.
But not you personally. We just mean everything else. Fabioke 100, welcome.
Hello, Fabioke.
Macerus.
Good to see you.
J-Man, I saw me a J-Man pop in earlier. J-Man brother, always good
what
to see you.
What a sweetheart of a human. And please follow him. Please go find him on Twitter and follow him. He's so wonderful. I went to his stream today. There were like 3 people there. He you know what he deserves? He deserves like 50 people there because he is just so kind and articulate and just a great person to be around. Please support J-Man. He could sure use it. And I'll tell you what, he supports us. He also supports me. He's personally supported me in my writing. So I love this person. Give him a break, please. And give him a little attention. He certainly deserves it. And he's a great friend. So you won't regret it.
J-Man is the man. Absolutely. And so is his buddy Sean. Pop Culture Republic.
Oh, God, you're here. That's great.
Good to see you. Just Joe 47. What's up, Jobber?
Hello.
Oh, always a pleasure, brother. And Tim's Talk is here. And anyone else we see pop in, I will definitely give a hello to. We want to say thank you to the great Eric K. the Bronze, Richard of Bronze. Bobby is big like a big old teddy bear. He brings the family in. Oh, you're too kind. Thank you, buddy. You're too kind. I try.
Yeah.
Well, actually, don't really try. It just happens. I don't know why. I didn't even try at all. To be honest. I never try ever.
Bobby.
I love you. I love you. And I love all of you out there. So thank you for being here with us. Anyone else pops in, I'll make note of it and definitely get that hello there as soon as possible because we like everyone to feel, like you're part of this big gang because you are clobberers and we love you. And this is, again, 51 in a row. And we'll be gone the next 2 weeks. But we'll be back to start the year off with Star Trek reviews.
It's going to be great.
Continuing this show that we're doing now, which is, let me find there we go. So, number 1, we'll explain what we're doing and we will hit the road running.
Are you new here? If you are, you should know that right now, the 735 Club has convened. The 735 Club, you say? What the heck is that? Well, it's the 735 times they created real Star Trek. 1966 to 2005. We're here to celebrate it. We're doing it in chronological order. We've already been through TOS and TAS. We're now on TNG. We do 4 episodes every Saturday night. The community comes together to talk about the episode. We rate the episode just like we would do at a convention. So it is a heck of a lot of fun. Rather than using stuff that we find on the internet, we use that as well, but we fact check it. We're using this book. It's Star Trek 365, The Next Generation. It's written by Paula M. Block, and she gets a bit of help from Terry J. Erdman, her husband, and The Blessing of Ronald D. Moore. But the reason why we're using this book is because not only is Paula M. Block a prolific writer for Star Trek, but she uses original source material. So rather than going and getting articles and interviews off the internet, Paula goes directly to the source. She interviews people directly. So you get it straight from the horse's mouth, as they say. So we'll read from that. Then Clobby and I will talk about it. Then we bring in the chat and we all come together to discuss what we think of the episode.
Indeed. Oh, are we ready? Oh, let me get my picture. Are we ready for our first episode of the evening?
We are.
Okay. Oops. Sorry about that.
That's okay, boss.
Eyes went off the screen. Our first episode of the evening is Identity Crisis, not to be confused with the crappy DC comic, at least.
Yes. Here we are, season 4, episode 18. The first time we watched this was on March 25th, 1991. And as I said, we're going to read from the Star Trek 365, The Next Generation by Paula M. Block. And we're going to start here tonight. Our first episode, Identity Crisis, season 4, episode 18, on page 196. Let's do it. As LaForge and former shipmate Susanna Leighton investigate the recent disappearance of colleagues who accompanied them to Tarchanin 3 5 years earlier, Leighton falls ill, her body infested by a parasite that is rewiring her DNA and turning her into an alien form. Crusher speculates that the same fate may have befallen their former crewmates, whose abandoned shuttles have been found in orbit around Tarchanin 3. With Crusher working to save Leighton, LaForge attempts to solve the mystery on his own until he falls prey to the parasite and finds himself compelled to beam down to the surface of the planet. Okay, boss, there are 2 more tiles discussing this episode, and one looks as though it is talking about Brannon Braga and his script writing, and one looks as though it is talking about the creation of the suits and the tech used on the show. Which tile would you like me to read, boss?
Which one do you think is more interesting? Because
I don't know. I can't tell. Let's read the Brannon Braga, since everybody's always talking about it.
I guess we can make fun of Brannon Braga, who likes to turn everything into monsters for some reason. He had a weird penchant for that, I've always noticed.
Yeah, well, let's see what this says. As everyone knows, especially my boss man, I read extemporaneously. I don't have time to study or practice the prose. So this will be a mystery to me, and I usually judge it by the picture. So I think this one is about Brannon Braga. Please turn your hymnal, if you have a copy of this book, to 197. I'm going to be reading from there. During his final year at the University of California, Santa Cruz, Brannon Braga won a script writing internship offered through the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. The prize, 8 weeks with Star Trek: The Next Generation. I applied for the internship out of curiosity, and I was amazed by the experience, Braga says. I didn't realize that TV shows had writing staffs and that they were written by groups of people under a showrunner. It was magical. And towards the end of my stint, Michael Piller gave me a script to rewrite. That script was Reunion, and it paired him with Ron Moore, the second youngest writer on staff after me, Braga notes. It launched a long and fruitful partnership. The well-received joint effort resulted in Braga being offered the opportunity to write a script on his own, Identity Crisis. I wanted to do a Geordie story because I really liked LeVar Burton as an actor, and I didn't think his character got enough screen time. There was an old spec story about him laying around the office. You mean lying? And they gave it to me to develop. It didn't take long for the novice writer's creativity to emerge. I decided to do an homage to the movie Blow Up using the holodeck. Michael and Jerry Taylor really liked that idea. Blow Up is, of course, the classic 1966 film by Italian director Michelangelo.
Antonioni?
Yes, Antonioni. And how do you know I was going to say that? Do you know about this film?
Yes.
Okay, in which a photographer attempts to prove that he's captured images of a murder by creating grainy, oversized enlargements of his negatives. Braga enjoyed crafting the sequence in which Geordie attempts to extrapolate the presence of the peculiar Tarchanin life forms using the holodeck, but claims his script wasn't a classic. I wrote a couple of drafts and took it as far as I could, he says. For a solo effort, I guess it was okay. Let me put it this way. I did a good enough job to get hired on staff. How is it that Braga won the internship in the first place? Well, what impressed Michael Piller was that my transcripts showed that I got a D in a course on human sexuality, Braga recalls. Michael thought, this guy must be interesting. How do you almost fail that class? Oh, that's very easy if you're a nerd or a geek. From small beginnings come great things. The future executive producer was well on his way. And then, of course, it has a picture of Brannon Braga, who obviously failed sex ed or human sexuality, which is hysterical given the comments of LeVar Burton this week. And then on the opposite page, a beautiful photograph of Pillar with Data, obviously Brent Spiner in character. And so there's another tile, but it's too lengthy. So I'm just going to say, Boss Man, what did you think of the episode and what did you think of the coverage?
Well, the episode, hello there, Keely Chow. Welcome.
Yay!
Good to see you. Roll Tide. The episode's difficult for me because it's so staggeringly unmemorable. I must have fallen asleep about 3 or 4 times. I think it gave me an identity crisis. I don't know who I am anymore, and I'm not sure I care who I am anymore after seeing this episode. Hello there, Sci-Fi. For me, welcome.
Hey.
So, the full name, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. I butchered that. It's Sci-Fi.
For Me TV.
For Me TV. Welcome. It is an honor to have you here. Thank you.
Evening.
This was a difficult. I mean, I think I may have, like we were talking about one last week where I fell asleep a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because I had not seen it all that often. And yeah, I found this to be, I guess, maybe sort of an interesting concept that it was so muddled. I don't have a strong opinion on it. It was really difficult to follow. It was really boring. I didn't care what was going on. I didn't think much. I didn't find that actress particularly convincing.
Mm-hmm.
I found this to be a crashing bore. I'm sorry.
The chat is calling out for the clawbony.
Uh-oh.
The chat would like the clawbony, sir.
If you're sure. Notes.
Yes, my notes. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with this format, Clobby and I usually have a wonderful discussion on the episode, but this episode just sucks. So Clobby's just kind of like on board. These are my notes. If you're new around here, I rewatch Star Trek from beginning to end every single year. That is correct. In chronological order every single year. And so rather than doing a formal review, I just take notes and try and debrief everyone on everything that I know about the episode. So here goes. Identity Crisis was nominated for a Makeup Emmy. And here's what else I put in my notes. Why does the away team have Anthony Bravell as a cameraman? Why exactly? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because the story premise required footage of what happened, even though it makes no sense.
That was one thing that really got me. Go ahead.
Yeah, Starfleet has never had an away team camera person. Clubby, I don't mind at all that you interrupted me, boss. I love you very much. You want to speak to that issue?
No. I just wanted to throw that in there. That was one of the things. Since the episode's so forgettable, it was tough to remember my gripes about it because, unlike you, I'm not studious and I don't write things down. So please continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. It's dumb, isn't it? When have we ever had camera persons? If we would have, wouldn't it have been great if we would have had? We would have been able to reproduce the stories in the films where we rely on the fact that there would be exterior cameras on the ship. Like this is a serious issue. So what it's doing
not in every other episode.
Yeah. There are no other episodes in Star Trek where there was a camera person recording the away mission. So ridiculous.
It was foolish. Yeah.
Also in my notes, I put, if they knew if they knew some people fell mysteriously ill before they disappeared, and Picard asks about this during the briefing, then why does the away team beam down without protective suits? This is later made worse in the corridor when Susanna even says that they knew trembling hands were a symptom before the others disappeared. She grabs her hand and she says, "Oh no, Geordi, it's happening to me." What if I disappear like the others? So this is really shoddy writing, because what it's saying is no protection was required. They just went down to the planet, and they know about all the symptoms, and they almost know it's parasitic, even though later Crusher finds a parasite on the thymus. Geordi calls himself a committed bachelor in 10 Forward. Since when is Geordi a committed bachelor? Geordi loves women and dating, and has been working through being too geeky and too nerdy to even date women. So this whole idea of him calling himself a committed bachelor is bizarre. Why wouldn't Worf just say end program on the holodeck? This is the simplest and most obvious solution to finding Geordi. There is nothing to search. Why would Worf take the perimeter and go and search? You just say computer end program. So more crappy writing. What happened to Geordi's visor implants? So when he goes full on Tarchanin, why do his visor implants, why can't they be seen? And how do they miraculously come back? Are they absorbed into his body? Very strange. How does Susanna know it's a DNA strand for reproduction? When Susanna wakes up and she explains how she's feeling, the doctor asks her, Bev asks her, how are you feeling? She says, it's not a parasite. This is a DNA strand that has been placed into my chest for reproductive purposes. How would she know that, since this is a species without language, which they clearly say afterwards? So that's more ridiculousness. This is a species that is so primitive that they're still reptilian. They have no language. So she wouldn't know that they had placed it in her chest as a DNA strand for reproduction. And I wonder if LeVar objected to covering his eyes in this episode as well, which is me taking a pot shot at a BSer. And that's all I have to say about this episode, boss man.
Well, good, because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, because it's boring, but it is also filled with unbelievably stupid writing, and I'm glad you pointed all that stuff out, because the thing is it's filled with dumb stuff. By the way, Brandon Braga, look, he's done some good things. I like a lot of when he was like part of, some of the other shows and stuff. But he has this weird obsession with episodes that turn people into monsters or creatures of some sort. He's done it. He has done it. A buddy of mine counted it up once. It's been a while since I've talked to him. But I think Braga's done this in terms of being involved with the story, writing a story, what have you, 4 to 5 times on 3 or 4 different Star Treks. He's done it on Next Gen a few times. Don't know if he ever did anything on DS9, but he did it on Voyager and he did it on Enterprise even. Mm-hmm. The guy's obsessed with humans changing into monsters.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that till a buddy of mine back, I think in the 90s, something like that. Was just, is this another Brandon Braga episode where they turn into monsters? I'm like, oh, crap, really? He starts naming off the episodes. I'm like, wow, what is it with this dude?
What I find hysterical here, boss man, is that they're talking about how this guy is such a nerd or a geek. I don't know which one. Probably a geek, because he doesn't sound studious. But he's apparently failed human sexuality. And so this is obviously Paula M. Block nodding to the fact that nerds and geeks have difficulty dating women. Isn't it hysterically coincidental to the fact that Brandon Braga wanted to write more about Geordi LaForge? And of course, Geordi LaForge is played by a character, LeVar Burton, who is recently complaining about the fact that being a nerd and a geek and not being good with women is a trope. It's hysterical. I've never seen a bigger coincidence in my life.
What have I been saying the past couple of weeks now that we're going back in depth, even though we've watched the show a lot, especially you, I'm really, really coming to more and more the conclusion, you and I talked about it a little before the show, of what a wildly inconsistent show this is. Mm-hmm. It's really a manic barometer. Mazer, I don't know if Braga was responsible for that one, but he was responsible for the Enterprise episode during the Xindi arc where they all went down to some planet and Archer and a couple of the others turned into the aliens. They turned into primitive versions of these aliens on that planet, Braga. Anyway, Michael Beacom, hello there, welcome. I know you're out there driving. Good to see you.
Hi, Michael.
So, this episode is boring. It's just, I mean, again, that I was really weirded out by them having this visual record. The Woke Breaker, hello there. And Anti-Derivative Jill, our communications officer. Hey.
Good evening, Jill. I was just drawing up your review because, of course, Jill, who is a wonderful communications officer and a part of this crew, had informed me as her commanding officer earlier that she was going to be late. However, she's not too late. Good job, Jill. Love you.
Good to see you there. And Wokebreaker, welcome. It's good to see you. And he said he was referred here by our wonderful friend Janet from another planet,
Nice.
whom we love. So
Yeah.
I think he said that's who it was. It was from Janet. And
Yeah,
where
Janet's great.
Where you at, Janet? You out there? Well, shout out to Janet wherever she is. We love Janet. Yes, indeed. And we love Jill. Great to see you, Jill.
Did I say
Okay.
Janet instead of Jill?
Any DS9 coverage? The Boat Breaker, what we're doing here, since it's new, we are reviewing all of Star Trek, real Star Trek 66 through 05 in order. We started out at the first week of the year. This is our last one of the year. This is number 51 of Saturday Night Star Trek. We started out with the original series in production order. Then we did the animated series. Then we did the original crew films. And now we are smack dab in the middle of season 4 of Star Trek The Next Generation. And then we will proceed to do episode by episode, DS9, then Voyager, then Enterprise. All of Real Trek only. So yes, we will be getting to DS9, and we can't wait to get there. We really can't wait to get there. And but right now we are on The Next Generation. But thank you for asking.
Oh, and sorry that I said Janet instead of Jill. This is the problem with me
okay.
is that I absolutely try to read every single thing that everyone says in the chat.
That's fine.
And I talk at the same time. I need to stop doing this. I need to either
you're
read
fine.
or talk and not do both at the same time. Of course I meant Jill. I love you, Jill.
That's fine. And Rogue Breaker, that's one thing you'll never have to worry about us doing a Clutch Trek, because that's not Star Trek to us. That's what we call the filth around here. We only do real Star Trek. No Jar Jar Abrams secret hideout, bad reboot trash. 66 through 05, my friend, right here. Anyway,
735 Club forever.
735 Club. So what is your? We'll and what we do, everyone, if you're new here, we give our little Raquel reads off her information about the episode. We give our ratings, and then we ask our friends in the chat to give their ratings and any comments they may have. So, number one, what is your rating for the Identity Crisis?
Okay, so everyone knows I'm a cosplayer. I love Michael Westmore. I think the effects are really great in this one. I was told that they even brought in, and this is verified, that they even brought in an ophthalmologist to do the contacts and to color the eyes so that they would glow and so on and so forth. They used eye examination fluids and all sorts of wonderful things. So I'm going to give it a much higher rating than it deserves.
Okay.
So for this horrible writing that is just inconsistent and nincompoopy, I'm going to give it a C, boss.
Okay, well, I'm going to give it a D for dull. Only reason I don't go lower is because we've had far worse episodes for sure.
Yep, we
I
have.
just find this one to be not so much idiotic, except for that silliness about the way they recorded their mission on the planet. But definitely dull and uninspiring, and I'm not sure they could have done much with it. So, and not even any good character stuff, really. Well, so my good friends, please, and my good friends in the chat, now it is time. The word is given for you to give your rating of Identity Crisis and any comments you may have. Go.
I love you, Chris.
Chris Persis, the man. And we will read them off. Relief Crusader jumped the gun on me, but we'll read yours anyway because you're our pal. Don't worry about it. No problem. But just 4 out of 10 for him.
That's a fair grade.
Let's see here. All right, here we go. The Great Hungry Boy says, being a fan of Robert Culp's body horror episode of The Outer Limits, yeah, that'd be The Architects of Fear. That's a great one. I enjoyed this despite its various shortcomings. It seemed an homage to body horror films like The Fly. Okay, that's fair enough. And we get to your
Hungry
next
Boy,
one.
is that the official term for that? If folks, if you don't know who Hungry Boy is, he's actually, for obvious reasons, he has to materialize here anonymously because he's actually a professional comic book artist. Is that the official term for it, body horror? Because
I've heard
it seems like a category, and I really love that you've brought more of your fine arts and professor-like knowledge here. So body horror is a great way to describe it.
I've heard that before, so
yeah, me too.
However, some of the special effects were 1970s Land of the Lost. Oh my God, that bad caliber. And again, the storyline was quite derivative of Outer Limits without adding anything new. Star Trek makes an episode for MST3K. Roger Corman smiled. C-.
Yep.
Love me some MST3K. Thank you so much, my friends.
Yeah.
The Snortster, Snorto Popo says, C. Suddenly the magic transporter can't filter out biological material from a planet.
Yes.
From a planet? I know it's nitpicky, but inconsistency of the writer's room on this subject is slightly maddening.
It is.
And they are they've been incredibly inconsistent for the whole series so far.
Yeah, woefully.
Susanna Leitchen, I guess, is concocted for this one episode, and we never hear of her or see her again. Yeah, they should have made her a regular or semi-regular. A weakness of episodic television. Where did that CNN camera guy come from?
And the worst thing is the Leitchen character professes to have a very intimate relationship with Geordi. So it is crazy that they just jettison her. So Susanna's gone. Bye. And she's supposed to be like almost like family to Geordi.
Yes, and again, they weren't very convincing with that, to be quite honest with you. But I mean, again, nothing really against the actress, but she wasn't really particularly compelling. But you can't blame her; it was the writing.
Yep, writing's terrible.
The shadow aliens are appropriately creepy, and Geordi's use of the holodeck as an investigative tool is clever, showing the technology can be put to good use and not just a dating service. I'd rather use it as a dating service, but I hear you.
But so what Snortopupus is basically saying, the big good bear is saying here, is that the only thing he liked about the episode was actually somebody else's idea from a movie.
There you go. Excuse me. Zathras says, F, use my time to Raquel. Use my time to Raquel. I think it means use my time, Raquel, to say, well, say it. Say it.
Crap.
We get the point. So
I love you,
what you're saying is you're not particularly fond of it, is what you're trying.
No, he doesn't like this one.
There you go. That Zathras is just so tough to please. Mr. Tickle Drunk, C-. Where was their urgency? Why didn't the computer, which was monitoring Geordi, let them know when he was no longer able to be monitored? Isn't that the equivalent of a flat line?
Mr. Tickle Trunk is correct. When Picard orders him to be traced by the computer, why don't we hear Majel Barrett or Majel Roddenberry's voice come out and say, warning.
I don't know. Holodeck recreation and blacklight laser quest Geordi were cool. There's no urgency in most of the acting. Protocol inconsistencies abound. And why did Geordi touch someone infected? The holodeck segment scared me as a kid. Some good suspense, but utterly wasted.
What a great review. Mr. Tickle Trunk, that was a sensational review. Thank you so
Well
much,
done.
sir.
Yes, indeed.
Great points.
Mr. Angel, the chef says, B-. Cause I rather liked the special effects at the time. Pretty well done and unintentionally hilarious. Smurfs in space.
Oh, so good.
Raymond Feliciano says, C. The old let's use the holodeck to play detective. Also, the transporter can't pull that out. Sigh, move on.
Yeah, I agree, Raymond. What a
Fair
great
enough,
review.
Raymond. Indeed. Terrell782 says, B, sorry but not sorry. I love these creature feature type episodes, but that's just me, I guess. Hey, nothing to be sorry about, brother.
No, Tyrell, I actually would have loved this episode too if it hadn't have made so many other errors. Like it was busying itself with the creature feature or what Hungry Boy called the body horror aspects, that it just dropped the ball on the science. And it's very important that it always remains science fiction for me. But I love your comments and I totally agree.
Appreciate it. No one ever has to apologize for an opinion around here.
That's right.
Terrell.
Hey, Dadman Clan is in the house.
Dadman. Always good to see you, Dadman, brother. Our new friend, the Woke Breaker, says I give it a C.
Okay, that's a good review.
That's what Raquel gave it. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Kal-El says D. This episode was barely watchable. Clearly, someone borrowed the costume from Automan. It does look like Automan and put it on Jordy. The episode had a somewhat interesting premise, but it was poorly executed. I tend to agree.
Kal-El, it always felt like a Tron, a Tron. It always had a Tron feel for me.
Yeah, it really does look like Automan, but except he had a bad day. Yeah. Wolfie says, rating C. This episode smells funny. Lots of second guessing about who is infected with what, and Transporter's Epic failed to detect the virus again.
Yeah.
But they sure had no problem using him to cure viruses when they needed a crutch.
Yeah.
I do like the Blade Runner like video to 3D exploration of the scene on the planet. Problem is, we never have seen Starfleet take video and play it back again until Generations. That's true. It's a good point.
Yeah. Away teams don't have cameramen. Not before and not after this.
And if you're going to do it, it's fine with the technology, but you need to just set a precedent for it and say, and start doing it. But
yeah, and to use and to say cameraman, it's like what?
It could be they could have a drone flying through the air and filming everything, and it would be fine if you just said so.
Or you know how you could have cleaned it all up is that there was special flora and fauna, and so everyone had to wear like a GoPro type set, and so everyone it was a perspectival shift, and everyone was wearing like a GoPro kind of thing, and you could have achieved the same thing from that 1966 movie that they borrowed from. It's just we don't have cameramen in Starfleet. We don't bring along cameramen.
No. Maybe someone was using their iPhone. Glow in the dark poop is hard to clean up despite the fact that it's easy to see. Yeah. It looks much like lightning bug guts that splatter on a windshield.
Oh, Wolfie, I love you.
Mega Cropper, hello there. Good to see you pop in. Welcome. Gives it a C.
Thank you, Mega Cropper.
And our buddy, our new friend, the Woke Breaker, has downgraded and says, nah, C-.
Love it. The Woke Breaker, you're going to fit right in here.
Well, yes, indeed. Fair enough. Hey, we have our great friend, Enigmatic Drop Bear. Take it away, number one.
Oh, always a pleasure to read these insightful and well-wrought comments. So let's do it. Enigmatic Drop Bear, the Great Bear, as is done a 3-parter. He's giving this episode a C+. He says, this story draws on a Kafkaesque motifs to illustrate the intriguing reproduction technique of an alien species. It was strange that the away team didn't take basic precautions to ensure their safety on the planet's surface. Maybe it's because the transporter scans for foreign bodies when they beam up. It would have been nice if the story explained how the parasite invaded its host and the mechanism for initiating the metamorphosis process. Yeah, enigmatic drop bear, you are thinking all the same things I was thinking, and your comments sound like my notes. If we would have been watching this together, we both would have been throwing popcorn at the screen at the same times. So, as per usual, love your review. Mwah.
Indeedishness. Eric K says D-, just plain blah. They always have a transporter fix everything or call Wesley to solve the problem.
Yeah, it's the pimple probe, or what anti-derivative Jill calls the magic transporter.
Brundlefly indeed. Wolfie, good reference. Sandra Feliciano says C. From a medical standpoint, it was subpar. A. Oh, I'm sorry, just kidding. A viral crash. Oh, yeah. Really? Susie suddenly knew everything about the aliens and could still communicate with Geordi. It's just beyond believable. Thank you. And
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Scuba Pete says C. I enjoyed the premise behind it, but it just rubbed me the wrong way, like a bad pair of LeVar's blue glow tights. The deconstruction of the away team was monotonous.
It was. Yep. I don't know how that film went off. I guess Clobby saw the film. I don't know about the film, but if you're going to borrow a concept, you better do it justice, I guess. I completely agree, Scuba Pete.
I just know about the Antonioni and Blow Up, or I don't think I've ever seen Blow Up. I just know about it. It's one of those things I've heard about. So, we have our wonderful communications officer, anti-derivative Jill. Take it away, number one.
Hello, you beautiful nerd. So nice to see you. Jill's going to give us a two-parter. She gives this episode a D+, and she says, this horror mystery is slow and boring, and Crusher takes forever to finally run her scans to find the foreign body and remove it. I could add more, but the lazy writing leaves me uninspired.
Indeed.
Why do they let Geordi work alone when they know he's going to try and leave? Also, if the computer cannot scan Geordi, then how is it able to get a transporter lock? When they're beamed up and he is gripping onto Susanna, that's the thing that's the question that jumps out at me as well. So excellent review. Thank you so much for that.
Indeed. I mean, that's my biggest thing about this episode. It's just tough for me to work up any feeling whatsoever. It was so forgettable. I would be watching it and go, oh, that's kind of messed up. And then I would think about 20 minutes later, I'm like, I know I had a point to make about that, but it's gone because I don't care. And it's just so gobbledygook. Ugh.
Yeah.
Phantom Outsider says, give it FS for freaking stupid. Play hide and seek on holodeck in program. A parasite in your system rewriting DNA?
Yeah.
Have you met the transporter?
Yeah.
How does this parasite grow?
Yes. Oh, amazingly good questions.
JT Kirk's here.
Hey, evening, honey. Nice to see you.
What's to say there, JT? Let's see here. I will get to your next one as soon as possible, Phantom. In the meantime, Naranax Amanda Bear says, I give it a D-. Both, I think that's either minus or separator. Minus both for the poor storytelling and the wow. The artist man, bleep the man to speak on in the right of the creature's rib cage. Arr. Sorry about that. Ooh. I hear you. Nirat, though, I do understand. I am right there with you. JT Kirk says, C+. I appreciated the use of the holodeck to do some forensics, and that's about it. Yeah. The black light costume was Cloboni worthy. Yes, we've Clobonied this one already. Mm-hmm. Enterprise did, in my opinion, a superior version of this story. Mm-hmm. I I'd have to refamiliarize myself. I think I know every episode of Enterprise, but it's not popping in there. But that doesn't mean anything. You know my memory. Every time you use the transporter, you'd reset the DNA. They don't need someone with a camera since the tricorder is a multi-tool. It records everything. Also, hey people, people disappear on this planet. Safety. True.
I totally agree, Phantom. Excellent points.
On my way. Comic Relief Crusader says C-. I don't need to see poorly executed glow rave dancer rejects. Well said.
That's a good one.
Let's see here. Sci-fi for me TV. Yes, Braga did like to write the creepy stuff for some reason. I agree. And number 3 for Phantom Outsider. Equipment, it'll be fine. The great alien society on that planet rally around their new handicapped member, the blind Geordie. Nope. Apparently they have no loyalty, parasitic, and self-interested. Yes. Yes. Let's see here.
That's a problem for me too, Phantom Outsider. What happened? What happened with his vision? So, Geordie was supposed to be a visually impaired person. That's something Gene Roddenberry wanted to portray. And that's why he came up with the idea of the visor. So yeah, it's and the implants that he uses to attach the visor, what happens to them?
You got me. Excuse me. You got me. Fabioki 100 says C-. Season filler episode.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and I think Fabioki has
correct.
found an incredibly short way of addressing all of the issues. Filler.
Pretty much. The great Mark D with the C, Chief Engineer, C-. The crisis with this episode was staying awake. Boy, was it tough to... It's like one from last week where it took me like 3 tries because I was falling asleep. The costumes and horror of the transformation were well done, but the plot had no interesting twists. Let's see here. The inconsistencies and the lack of surveillance cameras in Trek doesn't make sense. Plus, couldn't the transporter fix this? Maybe we should isolate crewmen and who might be infected. Yeah, maybe we should. Let's see here. How will those poor aliens reproduce now that the planet has been cordoned off and no one can go there? And no one can go there, raves? I don't know.
Well, Mark, they never addressed that it's transmissible, so it leaves you saying to yourself, well, then what's going to happen with Riker and Worf? And wouldn't it even attempt data? So, there you have all these people who have been exposed to it because we don't know how it's transmitted, right? So it's just really annoying.
Yep. And we have a tradition here on Saturday Night Star Trek. And I just have to do it because it's for time constraints. After we get to the Chief Engineer's review, Mark D with a C, traditionally there are no more after that. And I don't see any more, so we will get to hey, Captain James T. Skywalker's here.
Nice. Good evening.
Hey, man. Good to see you, sir. Always a pleasure. Let's see here. Let me just make sure.
Oh, and Eric's done something there. He's left you a super chat. What a
Thank you for the $2 super chat, Eric K. Thank you, brother. I always appreciate it, buddy. Too bad Wesley was not infected. Leave him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That would have been the greatest episode ever. Let's see here. Okay, well, I guess we got this episode behind us. Thank you. Whoa. On to other things now. Are we ready now for our next episode?
We are, boss man. It's the nth degree. Season 4, episode 19. We all first watched this on April 1st, you fools. April 1st, 1991. And let's stay copyright compliant. I'm going to be reading from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. She gets a bit of help from her husband, Terry J. Erdman, and of course receives the blessing of Ronald D. Moore and obviously the production staff as well, since they are heavily interviewed herein. Please turn your hymnal to page 199. The crew discovers an alien probe near the malfunctioning Argus Array telescope. As LaForge and Reg Barclay attempt to examine the probe from the shuttle, it emits an energy surge, knocking Barclay unconscious. He recovers quickly, but it's soon clear that Barclay is a changed man, a super genius who knows how to fix the telescope in a fraction of the time it would normally take. As the crew struggles to adjust to Barclay's amazing new abilities, he surprises them all by connecting his brain to the ship's computer and putting the Enterprise on course for an unknown destination 30,000 light years away. Joe Menosky wrote The Nth Degree with an homage to the classic science fiction short story and later novel Flowers of Algernon. Danielle Kesey's award-winning tale of a mentally challenged man who undergoes experimental brain surgery to increase his intelligence. The surgery works, but only temporarily. Barclay's transformation is also temporary, the result of an alien intervention. Writing for Barclay was a bit like writing for Data. You just knew you couldn't lose, relates Menosky. And it's the only episode I managed to do during my 2 years on staff where I pitched the idea, wrote it, and turned in a first draft that was basically shot as is. So it was pure. And so it was a pure and clean experience for me. Of course, one person's pure and clean experience is inevitably someone else's problem. The problem was with the last act, explains Robert Legato, who directed The Nth Degree, his second such assignment for TNG. In the original draft, the explanation for why Barclay has become what he has become wasn't very satisfying. We didn't know how to play the creature at the end. Benevolent? Godlike? Well, if it's at the center of the galaxy, didn't we already cover this in the Star Trek TOS films? Anyways. And we needed more magic. In the original version, the alien was going to board the ship, and no one really liked that. It was too normal. A character just standing there on the bridge is flat and not so amazing to look at. Appearing on a view screen, it's kind of too flat too. What we go all this way to see a guy on the screen? Wow. Unbelievable. Legato, who also oversaw visual effects for the episode, eventually opted to create 3D effects where the Cytherian huge head would appear to pop out of the screen. That, in turn, would allow him to have a literal face-to-face conversation with Picard. At the same time, Menosky dialed back the alien creature's behavior from menacing to inquisitive and friendly. We've done many shows where ship members were taken somewhere against their will and then released, Legato explains. We wanted to find a different way to play this encounter. And I don't think he's being very truthful there, and I'll get to that in my notes. But Bossman, what did you think of the coverage, and what did you think of the episode?
Interesting coverage indeed, and I got to tell you, I love this episode. This is one of my favorites. To me, this is beautiful Star Trek.
Yep,
sure is. I'm a sucker for a Barclay episode, folks. I love Dwight Schultz. Look, the A-Team was a fun, silly, goofy show that he elevated to just an amazingly watchable show with his ridiculous antics. The guy's a genius actor. He's fantastic. And I love Barclay because he sort of makes me feel like somehow, some way, unlike the horrible modern crap, he's a very flawed character on a ship full of people who, yes, are also flawed, but he's a little bit more so, and yet he still makes it. He still makes it through. I don't think anyone else could, if they had cast anyone else as this particular character, they would never have returned. They never would have been a recurring character. They never would have been this interesting. Dwight Schultz is an absolute master. I love this guy. And every time you put him in an episode, they do something fun with him. This one, no exception. His talents are fully on display here. And I do love the premise is pure Trek. And what I found interesting about that coverage was the big the big head, the way they ended up doing the alien, the big head popping up on the bridge like that and being
Perfection.
kind of whimsical. That was a really, again, because the episode was kind of scary. Is Barkley turning bad? Is what are they doing with him here? Is he going to be? There were some similarities I saw, not only to Where No Man Has Gone Before, but the Sixth Finger, the Outer Limits episode, where you have this a human being's intelligence expanded to almost godlike, and would it change him? What's he going to be like? And if you have never seen the episode, you're not sure. Is this the end of Barkley? Is Barkley going to be a menace, a problem, and it doesn't happen? But they kind of make you think it is at first. You think he's bringing them to a very dangerous situation, and they have a very Star Trek ending where it turns out to be something that's benign and wonderful, a contact with another race like this. I just adore every second of it. It's very entertaining because of him, and that ending just made me feel good.
It's a great ending.
No, and your notes.
Okay, so this is what I recorded while I watched the episode. This is beautifully acted. This is excellent. This is an excellent science fiction topic. Dwight Schultz is brilliant. I love this nerd. Deanna in 10 Forward can't overcome Barkley's nerd reputation. Some women love nerds. I love nerds. I'm a nerd. I love nerds. This is a terrific soundtrack. Ron Jones absolutely nailed this episode. What a wonderful soundtrack. So enjoyable. The Hal feeling in the Jeffries tube is something that is beyond a television experience. We have Barkley as Hal 9000, which is, of course, from 2001, A Space Odyssey, which was written by Arthur C. Clarke. But, of course, we got a 1968 film by Stanley Kubrick. And as far as the rewriting of the ending goes, I think that when they struggled, and I don't think Minovsky was quite honest there. I do think that they found a way of redoing the end of Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, where, of course, we go to the center of the galaxy. Cybok takes us there in search of Shakari, which is actually Sean Connery, who was supposed to play the role, but that's neither here or there. It's Shakari. Obviously, there's no planet at the center of the galaxy. It's a black hole, but the Cytherians don't need a starship. So what I thought happened is that something really wonderful occurred. They were inspired to come up with this really clever ending, and what they wound up doing was giving us the ending of Star Trek: The Final Frontier, but the ending we all wanted from Star Trek the Final Frontier. And I absolutely love the Cytherian. I love the way that he is speaking, where he actually starts to examine the grammar. And I just absolutely love when he's like, interrogative. I'm completely in love with this Cytherian. They spent what I think Captain Picard
10 days
says,
or something.
10 days. Yeah, I was just going to say 10 days.
Yeah.
I would have asked to stay. I think these Cytherians are just absolutely beautiful. And I, of course, love the idea of being at the center of the galaxy, although we were pretty sure it's a black hole, not a planet. So yeah, it's just terrific soundtrack, beautifully acted, wonderful science fiction topic. I love this beautiful nerd. This man is such an amazing actor, and he plays good nerd and evil nerd to perfection. If I met him in real life, I haven't yet. I've met many of them, almost all of them. But if I met him in real life, I would smooch his whole face. So if you're out there, Dwight Schultz, and you hear of this, I love you, you big nerd. You're just the cutest cutie patootie. I adore you. And that's it.
You know what was clever about using Barkley for this story too is because he'd only been in one episodes previously. Not everyone, someone remembered him, some didn't. Probably, I mean, it was very memorable. But if he'd been a normal member of the crew, like a recurring character, like a Wesley Crusher or Geordi or someone that this happened to, there's no suspense about what that could that what could have happened could be a serious problem. We didn't, it would kill the suspense of that could this be someone going evil, because someone rogue, because he's going to be okay at the end. I wasn't so sure the first time I saw it, if Barclay was going to be okay. Was he going to become a menace of some sort? Until we see, the Cytherians, right? So
Yeah.
I love that.
And the way that he's humbled, where he says, "Oh, I wasn't myself. I was under these orders, and they had to be executed." And just the way that his hands, he begins to gesticulate as though he's some sort of uh, conductor of an orchestra when he's standing on the bridge. We see him really grappling with all that's happened to him, and the way that he is like Rico Suave once he's impregnated with this knowledge and intent forward, and he isn't bashful, and he makes a pass at her. It's just, yeah, when you're a woman, it doesn't matter if you're beautiful or you're ugly. Either you're into nerds or you're not. I'm into nerds. This is a total nerdgasm for me. I absolutely love this episode. Nick's here.
Nick Weiser, brother. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I truly love it. Again, it really is. LT, I don't know if you're still here, buddy, but you just got to get all over me. This one, and I don't know if it'd be tough for me to make a top 10 of TNG almost at this point, as I was telling him last night when I was talking to him, and he was teasing me about saying top 10 all the time when we were doing original series.
Yeah.
But this would be a top 10 or maybe a top 5er for me there, brother. So number one, what I will do is now ask you your rating for the nth degree. I'll give mine, and then we will ask our wonderful chat for theirs.
This is an A+ for me. This is an unapologetic A+. I am a nerd, not a geek, so I love a good nerdgasm. This has everything. I get math, I get grammar, I get Albert Einstein, I get this wonderful K Cuter or Cutter, however you want to pronounce it, who is just the most gorgeous Cytherian, and an incredible soundtrack, just beautiful orchestration, very tense, very satisfying. It's beautifully acted. Dwight Schultz is just brilliant. We get the Hal feeling. We get the final frontier we really wanted, because the suck is long and hard on that one. So A+, A+.
A+ for me. Number one, I just absolutely, I mean, it's funny. What are we doing here next gen when you give us garbage like Identity Crisis or some of the other ones we had recently, and then the next week, because I said this last week, wow, they give us such a piece of in 1 week, and then the next week we get this.
Well,
I'll take it, but it's just crazy.
But boss man, a pattern is emerging, and this is what I try to teach people as a professional writer and as a teacher, a post-secondary teacher. When you have a writing team, a lot of the time it sucks. But when you have someone who just has a clear vision and they write a beautiful story, the author creates a beautiful space, a magical space, and you get to meet that author in their mind, and they write the story on the mind's eye, and you have a wonderful time. But when you have these teams, they're not so good, and we should stop relying on these teams to write for us and really go back to relying on authors, people like Gene Roddenberry, who aren't afraid to write on the mind's eye and to create that beautiful discussion,
Oh, absolutely. Comic Release Crusader, I would ask that you wait till I tell everyone to give their review, because it means I have to stop my chat as soon as a review comes through. So I'll wait for you this time, but please, and I'm now saying, chat, go give us your ratings and any comments you may have.
Yes, the word is given. Fire at will.
Right, but no problem. I'm just saying it kind of comes up the works for me with this chat's pretty. If you could wait until we call for it, I appreciate it, and I'm glad you're here. I really appreciate you, buddy. I'm just saying. Anyway. Comic Relief Crusader says, I give it A, only because I love a great Barclay story. The only disappointment is that in Voyager, you never hear of the Cytherians ever, considering they were near that sector. Well, good point. I would like they've done that with a lot of things, Comic Relief Crusader, where they would set something up that's really cool, and then we never see it again. So I'm with you, because sometimes there are a lot of things they could have gone back and revisited. What? There we go. I'm going to try to get to my next one.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, here we go. Raymond Feliciano says, "Hey, can't go wrong with Barkley. Barkley 9000. Yeah, it was epic. It was pretty cool. And his discussion with Einstein was priceless. The attitude at times got into my the attitude at times got into my nerves, though. He put the Decker unit in his place. Love it. Too true. Too true.
Love
brother.
it when Raymond calls him the Decker unit like I do. I love you,
Yes.
Raymond.
Hey, no problem, Comic Relief Crusader, bro. That's cool.
Oh, no problem at all.
Yeah, it's
Don't
all
worry
right,
about
man.
it.
I just say that so everyone knows it sometimes because I forget to say it, and it's nothing wrong, bro. We're just glad you're here. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, A plus favorite. As a nerdy outsider at the time, I absolutely loved the episode.
Good.
As an adult, I see even more nuances of character development and Dwight Schultz's acting. Forget about it. I think he says he is.
Love it.
Excuse me. Let's see.
I love it when Mr. Tickle Trunk has a good time with these episodes because he's a very bright person. So, like when he gets impressed, it's he's very expressive. He's quiet otherwise, kind of like D. Bud Martin. So it's really cool when he gets excited about an episode because he and D. Bud, it takes a lot for them to say, "Hey, that was great! I had a wonderful time."
Yep, I see our buddy D. Bud's even got a review. We'll get to that in just a second, there, buddy.
Yeah.
Let me finish up Mr. Tickle Trunk here. Let's see here. The premise was very Star Trek. This could have been done in the original series and work. Yes.
Yeah.
It even was complete with a giant head floating in space,
Yeah.
speaking to the crew like an omnipotent Oz.
Love these
Yes.
comments.
Absolutely. The buildup was the best part to me. It mirrored a fast-tracked, real-life metamorphosis from a nerdy outsider with negative people skills to mature intelligence and confidence. Chef's kiss.
Mwah!
Indeed.
Mr. Tickle Trunk. I love
Indeed.
it. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this wonderful review. I love your reviews, and I'm so happy you enjoyed the episode. You're such a cool guy. I'm so happy you had a good time with this one.
Indeed. I am too. I just want to go back and watch it again right after I watched it the first time. Again, well, I've watched it many times over the years, but like the other night, I'm like, I want to watch it again there. A plus from the great D. Bud Martin, the Man of Iron. All Barkley episodes are great and memorable to me. Sometimes I will actually bounce around and watch all the Barkley episodes just because I like them so much.
Yay!
Let's see here. I love how the socially awkward Reg turns Crusher into putty in his hands and gets a rise out of Troy. Take that, Riker.
Yeah, Riker. Decker unit.
Decker unit. Hey, from
that's
Sandra.
Great review, D. Bud Martin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. A from Sandra. Barkley goes from being a victim to being a possible threat. Despite this, he is still valued. He's still valued. Enough suspense to keep engagement.
Yes.
Story was well developed and had a definitive ending. Yes, indeed, Sandra.
Beautiful review. Love you, Sandra. Thank you.
Let's see here. No point in says Hunger Boy says, no point in rephrasing what Raquel already said. Lol, merely an A. Yes, indeed.
Love you, Hungry Boy. Thank you.
She did it amazingly. I'll tell you that. J.T. Kirk says, A minus. I love the acting, writing, music, and visuals. Good. This episode left me on the edge of my seat when I first saw it, a true TNG thriller. Yeah. The episode has some service canon flaws. Okay. Let me
GT's a stickler. He also knows lots about ships. So, it's very important that we hear him out.
I just got to find it, buddy. While Barkley was reverted to normal intelligence in the end, the new methods of travel and the brain-computer interlink system would be major innovations for the Starfleet.
Yeah, I think about that too.
If they retain them.
Yeah.
We don't know if they did, do we? Anyway, I'm sorry, but Barkley was supposed to have the IQ of a bazillion, but he never figured out he could have done so much better than Counselor Hamilton.
You are literally one of my favorite people on the internet. I love you, JT.
Well done, JT.
So funny.
How dare you? A minus from Mega Cropper. Thank you so much, Mega Cropper.
Thank you, Mega.
Snorty says A plus. Dwight Schultz is great, playing both Barkley the clutching genius and Barkley the super genius with great aplomb. Now, when you say super genius, by the way, you gotta say it the way Wile E. Coyote did. Wile E. Coyote, super genius. Let's see here. I'm trying to get to your next one, Snorty. Hang on. Where are you? Okay. The tables are turned on the crew of the Enterprise, as they are subjects of someone else's curiosity for a change. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a fun element to it as well, sort of.
Yeah, I love the premise.
It makes me wonder how Barkley will adjust to having been so epically and nearly godlike. Oh, epically and nearly godlike. One moment, I got you, and back to normal the next.
Yeah.
He'll need a good counselor and not that moron they have now. Well, he does come back, so you can find out.
Chat, can you do me a favor? Can you please throw some Arctic char in the chat for our amazing Snortopoopas Cuber and some chin scritchies, please?
Scritchy chin time. Zathra says, A plus. That's Barkley. I always thought he retained some the essence of the knowledge that helped him contact Voyager in the episode Pathfinder. Plus, Zathras has a thing for engineers.
Yep, that's true.
You never know. It could be the case with Pathfinder.
Yep.
Oh, Kal-El, 2 of 2. Wait a minute. Did I miss? I may have missed one from. Oh, I'm sorry. It jumped on me there. Did I get the? Ooh, yeah, I jumped. Sorry about that, everyone. Weird. Okay. A plus from Kal-El. I really enjoyed this episode. It was great to see Barkley confident and assertive. Dwight Schultz showed his incredible acting range in this episode.
Yes, very much so. Hey, Kal-El. I love it.
Certainly did. It was almost like seeing Clark become Superman and then go back into being Clark again. Yeah, that's a good point. This is definitely one of my favorite episodes of the entire series. Well,
and I love it when Kal-El talks about Superman, because Kal-El's a bit of a Superman in real life. If you ever hear him talk about morals and ethics and about society, Kal-El is just his handle, but he has been heavily influenced by Superman. He's a pretty cool guy, so that's pretty high praise, and I just love that he enjoyed this episode so much.
Indeedishness. Fathom Outsider says B, but all of the advances that Barkley created are never used again. Why? They may not be able to use them again. They may have been just been temporary and taken away. 3% shield improvement, 30K light years in days. Maybe a future ship could use that tech. Voyager confidence. As Elvis saying 1 of 3, huh? You got me on that part. But I don't know the answer to that question, other than maybe they weren't supposed to. Maybe they were only supposed to use it for the Cytherians allowed them to use it, and they made some kind of deal with, I don't know, the Federation saying, look, we brought you here, but they can't keep it. The ship's not built for all that either. So
yeah, but it also says in parting, yes, of course, it could rip the ship apart, but they also say in parting that it's going to take them decades to even begin to understand the technology
that they say that
the Cytherians were willing to share with them. So yeah, true. I mean, they do. It is a tiny bit problematic, but I just think that the episode is so outstanding otherwise that suspension of belief is achieved.
Oh, it's fine.
And I would love to say hello to Aaron Baker, boss man. Aaron Baker just walked through the door, and so did your Muslim uncle.
Aaron Baker, welcome. And oh my goodness, your Muslim uncle. What's up, my friend? I hope you are doing well, you and your whole family. It is always a pleasure to see you, sir. So let's see. Good to see you. Well, again, Phantom, who knows? But I don't think they were meant to use it just that one time. I don't think their technology can handle it. Eric K says B plus. Wesley could have accomplished this without the probe. Finally, someone other than Data under control of others. Too bad he could not keep the knowledge, though. Really cool way to go.
Yay.
Yes.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Okay, this chat's being hang on, everybody. Chat's being wonky. Scuba Pete says, "A, enjoyed it. Reminded me of 2001.
Yes.
What are you doing, Barkley? Close the pod bay doors, Barkley. Yes.
Yes.
Stop, Jordy. Don't, Jordy.
Yeah.
Barkley. I was waiting for Barkley to start singing Daisy. Daisy. J-Man says A plus. Everything has all been said. Dwight is the bestie.
Yes.
Even when he appears on Voyager, yes, I agree. I was pumped. I even
Yep.
liked the Voyager episodes. Now we have the great Indian medic Drop Bear. Take it away, number 1.
Hello, my brilliant bear. He's given this one a 5-parter, and he says it's an A. Reg was the perfect choice for a tale about an alien power bestowing superhuman intellect on an insecure character. A knowledgeable audience would have discerned shades of Hal when Reg took over the ship's computer. Yes, right. With the corresponding menace incumbent in that reference. Yes. The destruction of the Cytherian probe was a little problematic. There was nothing at the time to indicate it wasn't a life form. I had recollections of Tin Man and Galaxy's Child. Sometimes the Enterprise crew seems a little too quick to shoot first when they feel threatened. 5 of 5, leaving in Reg with residues of his former superhuman abilities was a lovely touch. Sometimes, he just combined them. It's okay. We got them both.
Gotcha. Okay, we gotcha.
Excellent review, Enigmatic Drop Bear.
Thank you.
I love how so many of us had that Hal feeling, and it was quite scary. You know, like just where you feel that little creep in the back of your spine, where you're like, oh.
Indeedishness. And another one for you. Number 1, our wonderful communications officer, Jill. Go for it.
Hello, fellow nerd. I love you. Okay, Jill is giving this one a 5-parter. It's an Esh pick, and she's given it an A+. She says, this is a joy because it's a dream to be gifted with vast and unconquerable intelligence that you can reach out and help everyone so easily. I wish I could turn up the dial on mine sometimes. Yeah. As each scene shows his improved intellect, his confidence grows, and it's joyful seeing him revel in solving complex problems and commanding a show-stopping performance, showing Schultz's talents. I just love all these scenes. If Geordi hadn't interrupted Barkley, he could have solved grand unification. Yes, I've finally become the person I've always wanted to be. Do we have to ask why? Even under that intelligence, I never saw Barkley as someone who be so arrogant. Oh, it's okay. It's stupid autocorrect. So I was relieved when the alien influence was revealed and that he had been programmed to reject orders. Yes. My favorite part is how some of the intelligence upgrade remained and he's behaving like himself again. Yes, when he's playing chess. My least favorite part is we learn nothing of the Cytherians, but I'm getting used to it. Yeah, that's sort of, Yeah. The thing with Jill is Jill's a nerd, so Jill wants to connect intellectually with pure science fiction, so that very hard, pure science fiction. So she wants to conceptualize how we would meet with the Cytherians, how we would deal with their technology, and all of these intellectual and social issues that surround this first contact. So I love that you get caught up in that stuff. I do too, Jill. And just remember, Gene Roddenberry was writing for you. He always said, this isn't a space opera. It should aim to be hard science fiction. So the boss man was with you. You are a Roddenberry Ranger.
Indeed you are. Indeed you are. Mr. Angel says A+. Top 10 episodes. So well done. Murdoch going, I can't let you do that, Data. Priceless. The concept, so well done. Yes, Hal and Mad Murdoch, indeed. His character from the A-Team, by the way.
Hey, Michael.
Which one?
Oh, just Michael Beacom is home, and
Okay, oh, cool.
yeah, so now he's live in the chat. So everyone say hello to Michael.
Hello, Michael.
He's finally here.
Welcome. Pop Culture Republic says, "Oops, I jumped the gun." Definitely A+ for me on this episode. This was one of a handful of TNG episodes that I pondered after viewing. Thank you.
Yeah, it sticks with you when it's good, doesn't it?
Does. Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, that's a great comment.
Let's see here. Bop. Continuing Phantom Outsider. There's no job too immense when you've got confidence for Troy. Hello. When you got confidence for Troy, hello, is also a good pass. Yeah. Oh, God. Flowers for Algernon. Algernon was a mouse. Charlie was a man whose intelligence was increased. Hang on. I got to get to it. Yes, your Muslim uncle was mad. Yeah, howling mad Murdoch is pretending to be a member of the Enterprise in this one. All right, J-Man, take it easy, buddy.
J-Man? Is J-Man leaving?
Yes.
Oh, good night, J-Man. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and the show. And I will see you soon over on your channel. Hey, everyone, follow J-Man.
Oh, please do. Absolutely. He is a great one, great buddy, and it's a great channel. Now, that and Axamanda Bear, I give it there's a link in my description below about everyone. Narat gives it a B triple pluses. This Barkley episode has always stuck with me, though it's basically Flowers of Algernon or The Lawnmower Man. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lawnmower Man's a Stephen King story, but they made a movie. It's original enough and entertaining enough. Classic Trek. Okay. There's similarities to Lawnmower Man. I don't know everything about Flowers of Algernon, although I've heard of it, but the similarities to Lawnmower Man
did Lawnmower Man come out before?
It was a Stephen King short story.
Okay.
That they later did a movie with, I think, Pierce Brosnan in it or something like that, and Jeff Fahey or whatever. But
okay.
The story by Stephen King came out before this for sure.
I love that JT Kirk put this in the chat, and I have to say it before it disappears because it's just so nerdy and geeky. It's something we would totally talk about at the con, and that's why Clubby and I made this show, because we wanted con talk. And JT Kirk is doing con talk. He says, everyone, Data versus Smart Barkley. I wonder who would win at a game of Stratagema. Love you, JT.
I'm gonna say Barkley, but we'll never know. In the book, the mouse dies and the man loses his gifts, but can only remember being smarter. In this episode, is the possibility Barkley retained some of that knowledge and confidence? I don't know. I don't think so. He said it was gone, but then that little tidbit at the end, so you never know.
Oh man. Our great comic book artist, he's saying, oh, please don't equate this to Lawnmower Man.
Oh no, I didn't. I was just reading. Not me, buddy.
Yeah.
And the movie's nothing. There was actually Marvel did an adaptation of the short story in a Bizarre Adventures comic way before the movie came out. Let's see here. Wolfie says, rating A+. I freaking love this episode. There are times this is my favorite episode of all TNG. At worst, it's top 3. Nerds. Yes, as a nerd, you have to relate to broccoli here.
Yes! Wolfie, you're the best.
I think about this episode quite often when I have success in my daily life.
Oh, nice.
When I am in my element in my job, I call it Barkley mode.
Oh,
obviously,
yes.
Few coworkers understand what that means.
Love it.
Let's see here.
Wolfie, you're the coolest.
So many things make sense. In the future, you would need a neural interface.
Yes.
A highly advanced species exploring by some means other than actual space travel.
Yes.
Space telescopes, even in the future.
Yes.
Yeah, God, I love this episode even more. When you make it, I can't think I could love it anymore.
Right.
Only complaint is the center of the galaxy. Yeah, that's that was a little questionable. This is such a generalized statement that does not really add anything to a Star Trek story. They could have
Agreed.
just said it was X light years away. That's
Yes.
probably preferable. I'm with you there, Wolfie.
Or Edge of the Galaxy, because that's really
anything.
exciting too, right? Like the
Right.
Edge of the Galaxy is incredibly interesting to me.
Yes, indeed. Some occurrences leave me feeling Barclay may retain some of his gnarly powers after this episode is over. You're not alone, and they did sort of kind of wink at that possibility, did they not? So, yeah.
Yeah. Wolfie, that was like one of your best reviews since we've become friends.
Well
so
done,
that was pretty gosh darn sensational. Love you. Great review.
Good stuff, buddy. And the Phantom Outsider, I'm sorry I can't do that, Dave. Or odd that Reg didn't create a method of duplicating this enhancement. If something is important, you find the time. Admiral Kirk said that he did.
Yep.
Actually, it was Scotty quoting Kirk in Generations. Let's see.
Isn't it wonderful, Hungry Boy, when we're all talking about true science fiction, pure science fiction? And it's been so long since we had pure or hard science fiction, which is academic and thoughtful. And I love that you're bringing up Clobby's Clubhouse and this idea of transhumanism. I think people are starving for real science fiction. And so many people think that science fantasy is science fiction, and they're so mistaken. There are very cerebral people out there who are just dying to have some real science fiction again, and this definitely sates that, and it's just wonderful. And thank you so much, Hungry Boy.
Fabioki 100 says, give it an A-. The sorry if I overstepped. If you're meaning you certainly didn't, and we're glad you're here. If you mean Barclay, Barclay was great in this episode. I agree.
No, like at the end when Barclay, Fabioki's saying, like, when in the end when he was like sort of shaken and scared by what he did, that's what he meant. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mark D with a C says, the chief engineer says, A+. Barclay is one of the best things about TNG. Good thing didn't stick with a good thing. I guess he didn't stick with basketball. Barclay is. You'll have to explain that one. Barclay is a geek with game. Troy, well, he did make a pass at me last night. A good one. That was a funny scene.
It was.
Great concept despite the ripoff of Flowers of Algernon. And like Charlie from the short story, you feel sympathetic for Barclay at the end when he loses his super intelligence.
Yeah.
One nitpick is that they didn't learn enough about the aliens or the tech. At least we finally learn why God doesn't need a starship.
You sound like me.
They were there with him for 10 days. And remember, in Captain's log, Picard says that Federation will be studying it for 10 years. I mean, so obviously they didn't learn. They did get a lot of info.
Yep.
They will be learning it. It's just couldn't do it in 10 days. It's going to take a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe we are moving on to the next episode, number 1. I'm calling it now.
We are, and our amazing friend who is just so kind to us on a regular basis, Mr. Tickle Trunk. He's thrown something up in the chat for you, boss man.
$5 super chat from Mr. Tickle Trunk. Thank you so much, my friend. You were too kind.
Yeah, sweetheart of a man.
He says, there are many people whom I call students of science fiction here. Seeing so many parallels with how I personally think about sci-fi tonight. Thank you so much, Mr. Tickle Trunk. We do love it here. It is our passion.
Yeah. What a great comment. And I'm glad that you found a fellowship here. It's absolutely terrific. I just love your company, Mr. Tickle Trunk. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. Nick, dude, you rascal. Trying to make me laugh. Boy, I love Nick Weiser. He said this stream is so intelligent, even bringing up Hack Snyder couldn't derail it. Why, Iona, don't you get me started, boy. Don't make me come up there. That Nick Weiser is a menace like Spider-Man.
I love Nick.
Nick's the man. Let's see. Okay, everyone. Well, I do believe we is ready to move on.
We are.
I hope we didn't miss anyone else's review, but so there's time to leave Dry Dock for another adventure, AK episode to review. So is we ready?
We are, boss man. We're ready. We're ready.
Fired up then.
Oh, boss man, Wolfie just sent you a letter there. He sent you a super chat.
Oh, okay. Wolfie, thank you so much. You're too kind, my friend. $5 super chat. Thank you for that. I love this community so damn much. Excuse me. I had no doubt that this episode touched so many of you on a high level.
Yeah,
It
agreed.
really did. Thank you so much, Wolfie. You are too kind.
Ow, ow, ow! Love you, Wolfie.
Indeed.
Okay,
And
let's
Mr.
move
Tickle
on
Trunk
to
says,
Cupid.
Nick, you're fired. Well, you are, but you're rehired too.
Let's move on to Cupid. That's the image that the boss man just put up on the great viewer there on the view screen. Cupid season 4, episode 20, and we all watched this for the very first time on April 22nd, 1991. And folks, let's stay copyright compliant. I'm going to be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365: The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. She gets a bit of help from her husband Terry J. Ertman. It has an introduction from Ronald D. Moore, but certainly the blessing of the directors, the producers, and many of the staff who worked on this production, of course, because this entire book is made up of interviews with those people. So it's an interesting book. It also has some interesting grammar sometimes, and it has some interesting opinions, but I do recommend getting it. So if you have a copy of it, would you please turn to page 200, and we'll begin. The captain and Vash, or Vosh, are reunited when the Enterprise hosts an archaeology symposium, but their disparate personalities soon have them sparring instead of spooning. Enter Q, who offers to do Picard a favor by getting him and his lady love back together again. When Picard rejects the notion, Q transforms the captain into Robin Hood and sends him and Vosh and several members of Picard's senior staff to Sherwood Forest for a less than an idyllic romp. Okay, so it looks as though there are 2 extra tiles. One is short, and it's about Geordi. I'm not going to read that one then, because Geordi doesn't deserve any more attention. Please turn your hymnal to page 201, because it looks as though it's going to talk about Worf. And I love Worf. Let's
Why would
do
it be about Geordi anyway? He's not the spotlight of this episode.
Yeah. when we last saw Ira Stephen Bear, he had left the frenetic world of television production for a more glamorous lifestyle of feature film writer. Michael Piller called me up and said someone pitched a story about King Arthur and Guinevere, where Picard would be Arthur on the holodeck. And it's not working, Bear says. Would you like to come in and talk it over? I kind of felt bad that I had jumped ship on Michael, and I was waiting for the rewrite notes on this feature I did for Warner Brothers. So I said, yeah, I'll come in. But then I started thinking about it. If we make Picard King Arthur, he's going to be the guy who does the whole Camelot thing of might does not necessarily make right. Let's govern peacefully. Well, every episode of the show is about trying to make peace in the galaxy. So that just sounds boring. So I said, what about Robin Hood? Why don't we try that? I knew that Michael was a fan of the old Errol Flynn movies, and so was I. And Michael said, yeah, absolutely, let's do that. So I wrote it, got to watch them do the sword fight scene on the set and all. I wrote a whole script, and they shot it while I was still waiting for my notes from the studio. That's the difference between TV and movies. That and the fact that after a year and a half of working with them, they never made the movie. On the other hand, few television shows have more impact on have more impact. Wow. And this is a quote. This person's grammar is bad. Have more impact on American culture than Star Trek. Months later, says Bear, he was in a bookstore and his eyes fell upon a display of greeting cards. I saw a picture of Worf as Will Scarlet, so I picked up the card and he's saying, I am not a merry man. I thought, wow, I mean, what a strange world. I wrote an episode for Michael, and here he is on a greeting card. And that's all that nincompoop with really bad grammar has to say. What did you think of the coverage? What did you think of the episode, boss man? Hey, Rod Thunderheart, welcome, Alberta.
Hello, Rod Thunderheart. Welcome, my friend. Hey. Interesting coverage. Nincompoop. God. The episode is, I like it okay. I'm not really super in love with it. It's almost impossible probably almost impossible, just like a Q episode for me. I love Q. I think the episode is what it's supposed to be. It's funny, it's amusing, it's entertaining, I guess. I also, by the way, when it comes to Robin Hood, I'm a snob. To me, it's Errol Flynn, and I don't really like too many other versions of Robin Hood, but then this I know is
Robin Hood.
Huh? Rocket Robin Hood, of course. Yes. Forgot about that. Picard is no Rocket Robin Hood, by the way.
No.
I gotta tell you, the whole Picard Vosh thing, it was okay in that one episode, in that the Captain's Holiday one. Mm-hmm. And look, again, you know me, I don't mind a Trek episode being played for laughs and for fun. That's fine, and that's what this is, and it accomplishes that. It is kind of funny. There's some funny scenes in it. Mm-hmm. I actually love the Animal House joke in there when when Geordi starts playing the whatever it is.
Yeah, and he smashes
when he smashes, that's taken directly from Animal House when a guy's playing a song, and then John Belushi just, which I thought was funny.
Yeah,
hilarious.
That's a great scene.
Right, that's a great scene. It's funny. I think what kind of gets me is I don't really buy into the whole Vosh Picard romance. I mean, it's kind of boring to me. The rest of the episode, however, is kind of funny. Seeing the crew anytime Q is messing with him, it's kind of funny. And I do like Vosh now. I like the character. So on the whole, I find it to be an innocuous, fairly fun, entertaining episode, but it's nothing like wonderful, gigantically beautiful, wonderful Star Trek or anything. But I'd rather kind of a flippant or a frivolous, fun episode than a boring, pedantic piece of drivel like Identity Crisis.
Yes.
At least this one's fun. So, it's just not really, I don't think they've earned the right to do this kind of episode that much because they have so many clunkers, but it's okay.
Yes, it's true. Scuba Pete has put a commode in the chat.
Uh-oh. Didn't like it. Yeah, but I do like, now as a red-blooded American boy, I do like Vosh now.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's cute.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then look, Mark's putting the lyrics from the song from Animal House. I gave my love a cherry that had no memories. And then John Belushi smashes it. Yeah, I thought that was actually my favorite part of the episode when Morph did that.
Deep Butt Barton says, I'm sorry, but the only person who could play Little John is Porky Pig.
Yeah.
I love you, Deep Butt.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, I'm just an Errol Flynn guy. What can I tell you? When it comes to Robin Hood, I know this isn't a Robin Hood movie, so it's not supposed to be, but I can't even think of any other versions of Robin Hood that I like. But this is better than Kevin Costner, at least. Yes. So anyway, notes.
My notes are pretty short for this one. I said Beverly and Vosh, both of the women he's sleeping with in the same room. Patty Stew wanted Jean-Luc to have more sex. 2 women and 1 an onboard subordinate on his ship under his command. Please see LeVar Burton's interview with Rolling Stone. And then I wrote in yelling all caps, Rocket Robin Hood! And then I wrote, Maid Marian wouldn't have patent peach pumps. And then I wrote, I don't buy the why here. So I think it's sort of weird that Q would take them to, Nottingham, to Sherwood Forest, and turn them into Robin Hood. There's no reason for him to do it. He was trying to fulfill a debt. So if he was trying to fulfill a debt yeah, this is a very bizarre way of doing it. So the why here is, I think, preposterous. We count
Agreed.
on Q to be hyper intelligent, to the point where he leaves us guessing as to, you know, what he's going to do, and it's usually very high minded and diabolical. And here it's just stupid, you know. He wants to pay Jean-Luc back for helping him to become a Q again. And so he sends him to Sherwood Forest, and Vosh is in patent peach pumps. I'm going to say no. I'm going to go for that. But I mean, it's not a bad episode, but it does have a lot of, I want to use the word cockamamie, cockamamie ideas in it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're sitting there and you're going, really? I mean, I don't know. I don't really get into it that much. It's the whole, I'm saying it's fun, but I don't like the motivation. I'm like you. I don't like the motivation Q, you know, thinking he's paying back some debt by doing what for Picard exactly?
What? Why?
Yeah, I know. Dennis Moore, riding through the night. There you go, Minimus. Now look, Minimus is here. But you know his real name. Only you can pronounce it.
Claude.
There you go.
Mr. Parrish, good evening, fine sir. It is so nice to see you.
That's her opinion, not mine. So, anyway, it is nice to see him. Well, because I can't see him. So, yeah. Anyway, so those were basically those your notes. Are we ready to rate now?
We are, boss. Okay, everyone in the chat, hold your fire.
Clothes, see?
Hold your fire. Yes, Claude, you have a very sexy, manly French name. It's Claude. It's not Claude. Claude is like an insult in English. But I'll say your name whatever way you want me to say it, because I don't want to hurt your feelings. Because I like you, Mr. Parrish.
I told you someone would like you one day. That's an awesome Raquel brought up. Rocket Robin. In fact, we're going to just review a Rocket Robin Hood episode instead of this one. How about it, folks? No.
Yes.
We will one day. Who knows?
But anyway, Thunderheart, I encourage you to tune into Clobby's Clubhouse, where I have thrown down the gauntlet, and I have asked Mark D with a C to purchase Rocket Robin Hood and watch it. And then, of course, Clobby. I've asked Clobby to watch Rocket Robin Hood. So, and I think what we'll end up doing is talking about it thereafter.
We'll do that. But first, what is your rating of Cupid?
Stupid. I give it a B. It's just a B. Neither divine nor disgusting, and slightly annoying. It's just a B.
That's what I gave it. I gave it a B because, again, it has a lot of entertaining, fun stuff, even if it didn't make a lot of sense. After that great episode before it, it would have a little light fun. And Q is great. So, and Vosh is cute. So, yeah, I gave it a B also. Now, my good friends in the chat, fire away with your rankings and any comments you may have on the episode. Q got head.
The captain's given the word. Fire at will.
Let's see. I've never seen it.
Who said that?
That's Anti-Derivative Jill. I think she's referring to Rocket Robin Hood, though.
Oh, yes. She's talking about Rocket Robin Hood. Jill.
Oh, yeah, I'd be scared there for a minute there, Jiller.
No, Anti-Derivative Jill is a card-carrying nerd. She's seen all these episodes. Probably more than once.
I've seen the card. Zathras says C. Enough said from Zathras. Raymond Feliciano says A. This is a fun episode. Vosh is the female rogue you love. Mm-hmm. I love where Worf goes all John Belushi on Geordi. Also, anytime the Decker unit gets put in his place is great. 0 for 2 this evening. Yeah.
Nice review, Raymond.
Indeed. Mr. Angel A, guilty pleasure episode. Guilty pleasure one. We are men. Men in tights.
Oh, somebody hop on that person right there. Delete that person.
What happened? I can't see it.
Get in that chat. There's somebody named Allison Morgan. Zap her.
Oh, is that one of those bots?
Yep.
I can't get to it, but I know one of our good buddies will.
Click on that please, folks, and do not search that. That is very, very bad. You do not want to click on that or search that. Somebody zap that person, ban that person.
Yes, please torch that for me if you would, my good
torch
friends.
it.
We got plenty of wrenches here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Angel says, "We're men in tights." In Space, the musical, exactly, is very drama jealous. Insert evil laughter. What can I say? I'm a sucker for Q episodes. Guilty as charged. Look, I'm totally with you. It was a fun episode, and Q's great. We all love Q.
Yeah.
Mega Cropper, A-, fun episode. Thank you, Mega Cropper. Mr. Tickle Trunk says B-. I love me a Q episode, though this one took its sweet time to get to the point. In my opinion, it did, didn't it?
Yep.
We didn't get to see Q till after the teaser. I did like the tittering of Vash and Bev about Picard to each other. Patrick Stewart squirming was great.
Love you, Mr.
True enough, indeed. And that's another thing. I can believe Kirk with a Vash. I have a tough. I can buy into Picard and Beverly. Look, even Cisco said it when Vash appeared on Deep Space Nine in that Q episode. He said, "I wouldn't think she was his type."
Yeah, there's absolutely no way Patty Stew. No.
He's just too much of a stick in the mud, too much of a. And again, sometimes I know opposites attract and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I don't know. I don't buy into her. I don't buy into her being
to good taste.
Yes, I don't buy into her being into him too because he is such a damn stick in the mud.
Yeah.
The rest of the intro felt like it had too much filler mixed with lore padding. Picard and Vash have no real chemistry, like the Robin Hood stuff enough, and who the crew individually became.
Yep. What a great comment. I mean, this is a great review once again from Mr. Tickletrunk. He's always got these great reviews.
Indeed, a lot of humor was a definite plus with good comedy timing. The most useless woman in Starfleet shows us that she's also an inept tit at archery by hitting Data with an arrow. If she died, B+. I'm with you there.
Love it, love it.
Sandra Feliciano says, B. I like Q. It's a fun episode. With Q there, I don't expect real content, just zaniness. That's absolutely a great point.
Yeah.
Picard really did want to explore, though he was jealous on some level that Vash got to do what he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good point there.
What
Very
a
good
wonderful
point. Yeah, she was living the life he couldn't.
Yeah.
JT Kirk, B-. The episode falls apart with bad writing between Vash and Patty Stew, and PS's complete inability to act his relationships on screen.
Ooh, so true.
Beverly and Vash deserve better than this spineless dullard.
JT's just nailing it tonight.
Brutal stuff, JT.
Love it, but it's beautiful. It's so perfect.
Well, let's just be honest. We all know Kirk's better, so there you go.
That's right.
Snorty says, C. The Next Generation meets Robin Hood, Men in Tights, except the latter was actually amusing. This one wastes the talents of John Delancey and Jennifer Hetrick.
Yep.
Hang on, Snorty. Getting after you. It is slightly redeemed by Worf's Sir, I protest. I am not a merry man.
Throws that on ground.
Line. Maybe I'm being a little mean, but I didn't see the point of this episode. No, you're just giving your opinion, bro. That's what we're all here for.
I didn't see the point of it either, and neither did Clobby, Snorty. No. Like we didn't see it either. We're like, why?
Well, like I said, they really haven't earned the right to have the fun filler episodes because they have so many lousy, crappy filler episodes.
Yeah.
But here we are. Mm-hmm. Anyone who has had to endure someone playing mandolin badly, as I have, will applaud Worf smashing Geordi's lute. Too bad it wasn't over his head. Raising my rating to a B for that. Well done, Snortiness.
Send it some chin scritchies and ask in the chat to throw out the Arctic char for the big bear.
Yes, indeed. Char for the bear. That's a good bear. Ugly Boy says, I'd rather have Delancey silliness than STD's silly billies trying to be dark while making silly scripts. And frankly, Q looked utterly dashing as the sheriff.
He did.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Also, I like the visual meta joke of Data suffering Friar Tuck's tonsure, considering all of the times the crew had to pop the hood of Data's head. B++, fair enough.
What an excellent review, and what a beautiful turn of a phrase. Love it.
I don't know if venomous means Raquel left off the itch after the B. Oh, yeah. Oh. I'd rather fire at Wesley. Who wouldn't?
Everybody wants to fire
at Will Wheaton then. A for Kal-El. A delightfully fun episode with only a few exceptions. I almost always enjoy an episode featuring Q. My favorite line from this episode was Worf's. Hang on a second. Did somebody torch that bot? I see it there now, but I think someone got it, huh?
Yeah, Eric K told me that anti-derivative Jill zapped the crap out of that.
Well done, communications officer. Sir, I protest. I am not a married man. This episode shows that while his methods are less than desirable, he's actually trying to where's that one, man? Hang on, Cal. I'm trying to get to that one, buddy. Okay, wow. It was way down there. Hang on. Look out for humanity and Picard in particular, despite the writer's weak explanation for his motivation. Great episode overall, says Cal. Well, there you go. Thank you. Michael Beacom says,
Boss man, I beg your pardon. Please excuse me for interrupting you. Sherry is here. Everyone say hello to Sherry.
Sherry, lovely to see you.
It's okay that you're late. We don't care. We're just happy that you're here. And I'm sending you a hug, sweetheart.
You are never late. We are always absolutely thrilled to see you, Sherry. I hope you're doing well. We love you. Love and hugs to Sherry, everyone. Now, Michael Beacom says, C, full disclosure, I have not seen this one in a while. Feel there is a reason this episode rhymes with stupid. More missed opportunities.
Yep.
Yes, fair enough. Let's see.
Yep.
Hang on, Michael. Got to get to your next one here. Am I missing one?
I don't know how you sort through the chat. I just appreciate you and love you for doing it, because I know it's a huge pain in the keister. So we're just here and so happy that you're willing to do that for us, boss man.
Glad to do it. I will have to take them in order there, Michael. I'll get to your next ones, but I can't. It's going to take me a bit because I'm not seeing if that's your second one, it's not numbered, so I'm a little confusing. In the meantime, I'll suss them out. In the meantime, I will let number one take Enigmatic Drop Bears reviews. Take it away, number one.
All right. Enigmatic Drop Bear got a 3-parter. He's given this one a B+. Our femme fatale Vosh from Captain's Holiday has returned to accost our captain, who in turn is accosted by Q. Lovely, well wrought. Lovely, lovely. I find it strange that our captain continues to side to Vosh's or Vash's duplicity. Perhaps the writers were using Q as a meta-narrative device to reveal Picard's folly in this regard. That's an interesting idea.
Wow. Yeah.
Whilst I appreciate the intent behind exploring the human side of the captain, I'm not convinced it is necessary. The episode was enjoyable enough, though there was very little depth to it. Yeah, I feel the same way, Enigmatic Drop Bear. And it's so funny because those who are really drawn to science fiction rather than science fantasy find themselves asking the one-word question for this episode. Why? Enigmatic Drop Bear. Anyways, that was an incredible review. Thank you so much. I love your reviews. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our buddy Steve Mitchum says, B, I am not a married man.
Kiss Maddie for me, please.
Let's see here. Okay, Michael, I'm hoping this is correct, your second one here, because it doesn't have a number on it, I don't think. They took a lot of fan favorites, Vosh, Q, and the TOS Playground Planet, and threw it into a bucket, and this was what they poured out. Some
Yeah.
classic moments of course, I am not a merry man. I never get tired of saying that. I don't know what it is.
Could you imagine if that did not happen in this episode? No one would like this episode.
Yeah, it's a favorite, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, the bronze wrencher Eric K says B plus. I just love any episode with Q. I wonder if P Hard apologizes later. Probably does.
Oh, boss man, can I please
Yes.
interrupt?
Sure.
Our communications officer, the lovely, nerdy anti-derivative Jill, says, "My baby is sick and incomprehensible. I have to figure out why she is so sad. So that is why I've been so far from the chat tonight. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
You have
no.
nothing to apologize
Oh,
for.
no.
Don't you worry about it. We're all here for you. And I'm sending you a hug, and I'm sending your sweet little baby daughter a kiss. I hope she's feeling better
Absolutely.
soon, honey."
Oh, absolutely. You take care of that little girl there, Jill. We love you. We're right here with you.
Yep.
You're a crew member. Your fellow Trek crew members and clobberers are here with you, babe.
That's right.
We love you. Phantom Outsider says C. It was okay, but only okay. Wasn't well thought out. Why does everyone need to participate? Wouldn't Troy and Bev be better served in a B story trying to find others, which would be more interesting? You got me. I don't know. I mean, now, let's see here. Oh, Mr. Tickletruck had a 4. I could have thought 4 of 3. Okay, yes, I'd forgotten that Vosh shoots down the crotch wrecker unit.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. Cry.
Dr. Nexamandler says, I also give it a B. I love the Q character, and any meager excuse to include him, I approve of. Even though this is basically just a holodeck episode. Yeah.
Oh, what a
Good
great point. What a great point.
Good point. Absolutely. Pop Culture Republic says B. It was mostly harmless. Yes, Mr. Adams. It had its moments and was a bit above a filler episode. Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree. Pop Culture
I'm with you
Republic.
there. I'm with you there. Oh, Michael Beacom's third one. 3 or 4. But how does a Klingon even know the story? Why in the world would Q? Well, he was raised by humans.
Because he was raised on Earth.
Yeah. Why in the world would Q think this was good for Picard? They could fix it by saying this is Vosh's fantasy.
Yes.
Picard, who thought of this? Yeah.
What a great thing to say. That's a very authorial thing to say, Michael Beacom.
Right.
A writer could have fixed it using that idea, and that is a choice idea. That is a chef's kiss idea. Mwah! Great idea.
Indeed it is. Number 4. And Vosh has to meekly admit this was some sex fantasy. And Q was trying to set the mood, but then why bring the whole crew? Just enjoy the cute moments and forget. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
Some good points there.
Fair enough. Indeed. It was I'll disjointed on my part there reading the Michael because it was so far apart, so I apologize on that one. Wolfie. Rating B. Get ready for the Robin of the Hood cultural onslaught. That is 1991. Less than 2 months after this episode, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves came out. Weird, right? Yeah.
Right.
I'm not being a fan of anyone else but Errol Flynn playing Robin Hood. I have never watched that because I can't stand Kevin Costner with his dumb accent anyway. This episode...
I love you, Globby.
This episode makes me think it's an attempt at a redo of Hyde and Q. It doesn't want to make you cut someone's heart out with a spoon, so I guess that's a plus.
Yeah.
Yes, it doesn't. It doesn't. You're right.
Another great review, just from the chat, just because it's super funny and I want to get to it before it disappears. I'm so sorry to interrupt, boss man, but we have Wolfie saying this is the dollar store holodeck episode. And then we have JT Kirk saying, Michael Beacom, you haven't read Robin Hood until you've read it in the original Klingon.
Oh, God. Not read Robin Hood until read it in the original Klingon. Fabioke 100 says this episode gets a C. I am just not a fan of the silly costume episodes. Well, I agree. I understand for sure.
But Fabioki's right. Really beautiful costumes don't make up for crappy scripts. So I love it,
Sure.
Fabioki.
Sure. I'll knock out this quick one here, and then we'll get back. We'll go to our wonderful communications officer. B- for Scuba Pete. This sure would have made a better episode if we could have spent more time with Vosh. I quiver just thinking about her. Dude. All right. Scuba Pete, as your acting captain, I'm ordering you to extend your right arm, make a flatten your hand, bend your arm around the side behind the back of your head, and then whack, smack yourself upside the head.
It was
That's an order.
It was punnerific.
We loved it there, Scuba. Don't do violence to yourself, brother.
It's funny. JT's boo, but that includes a whole bunch of laughing icons. Scuba Pete, you are a puntastic, punnerific pal, and I love ya. Put her there. I love you, honey.
Well done.
All right, our lovely nerdy Jill.
Yes, go for it.
Who may have stepped away with the baby, and we're sending kisses to the beautiful little baby. I bet you she's as gorgeous as her lovely mother. She's got an Esh pick for this one. She's done a 5-parter. She's going to give this episode a B. Jill says, I enjoy the opening and reintroduction of Vosh, or Vash, whatever, who wants to go down to the planet to explore the forbidden ruins. It could have been more fun to see Picard struggle with the law versus his love. The main thing that bothers me about this episode is why Q doesn't matter about the stupid typos, thinks this was a favor. Yeah, I'm left thinking the same thing, Jill. It was a poor way to say that love will put everyone else in danger. Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Picard proves this by saying he would save anybody who he knew was in danger, love interest or not. So Q's lesson makes no sense, but it is fun to watch. It's because Jill loves Q. Vosh won't go with Picard because she doesn't believe she'd be safe, but then contradicts it by sending a letter for Riker to come save the captain. Should have gone with Picard to begin with. It's neat. Data happens to always carry around explosives in his arm, and I enjoyed the sword fight itself, minus that Gates was trained in swordplay and wasn't allowed a sword. Production oversight. Yeah, I guess.
The Comic Relief Crusader says, grade C. Q is fun, as always, and Vosh was hot. But Rocket Robin Hood's ST, no. There you go. See, Comic Relief Crusader knows Rocket Robin Hood.
Can I ask a question? Who was Gates playing? Who was Bev playing? Who was she assigned? Does anybody know?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think she.
Because I was just wondering if she would actually wield a sword. I wonder. That's an interesting question, Jill. I'm going to ponder it and find out what role Bev was playing in the farce that is the lesser Rocket Robin Hood. I shall investigate. Thank you.
Good question. Yeah. Fact Outsiders number 2 still mocking the fact that they go Robin Hood for Jean-Luc. Did the writers never hear of the 3 or 4 Musketeers? That the French literature also, unlike some Robin Hoods, he can speak with a French. Hang on.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, Bev was the dog.
Oh, there you go. Accent. Oh, and suddenly a Frenchman is aces with a broadsword. English used wide blades. If it was 3 Musketeer foil, sure, but foils don't translate to broadsword fighting. It isn't fencing. Touche.
Eric says for Raquel, Bev was drunken wench. I mean, number 2. Wench, fetch me a beer.
Let's see here. Let's
Eric,
see here.
I love it.
Minimus says, yeah, I mean, John Delancey plays too much. He really didn't seem to be into this one that much, though. Not a greater Q episode. No, there have been better ones, but I still, he's Q, so he's fun to watch.
I like all the sexualized poses in this one for Delancey, as they say in the United States, or Delancier. But have you noticed that, Mr. Parrish? That he's always striking these semi-sexual poses as though he's like some sort of a Greek god. It's through the whole episode, so I can definitely see what you mean by it's over cute. You know what I mean? I see what Parrish is saying here.
Chief Engineer Mark Deal with the Sea says B+. Harmlessly fun episode. The Enterprise crew in tights. Thankfully, we were spared bad English accents. Worf for the win. I am not a merry man. I can't get over it. Picard is a lucky man getting to choose between the charming Vosh or the Doctor. Vosh finally leaves boring Picard to travel with the omnipotent and exciting Q. Is Patty Stu jealous? Probably ain't happy. Hey, hey there, Sherry. Let's see here. I think that will be all of our. Okay, I think we got all of our reviews, and we're about to move on.
We are.
Said Michael. Oh, don't worry about it, Michael. You're good. Thank you. I just appreciate you being here, sir. That's all right. That's how bad I am with this chat, dude. And how tough it is to see. So you're good, buddy. Let's see here. Okay, I think we are up to speed. Well, we're ready to move on to our final episode of the evening and the gear, folks. What do you think about that?
Scary. Can't believe we've come this far. It's been a long road.
Oh, you're going to really do that? Oh, no. Go for it. I say go for it. Well, here we go. Take it away, number 1.
The Drumhead, Season 4, Episode 21. We all watched this for the very first time on April 29th, 1991. Hey, what do you think? Let's stay copyright compliant. I'm going to be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. She gets a bit of help from her husband, Terry J. Erdman. And this book has been blessed by Ronald D. Moore and Company. Please turn your hymnal to page 203. An explosion aboard the Enterprise leads to a high-level investigation headed by Admiral Nora Satie, a retired officer renowned for her skill at exposing conspiracies. Satie quickly determines that the visiting Klingon officer was attempting to smuggle diagrams off the ship, but the Klingon denies any involvement in the explosion. Satie refuses to give up on her investigation, even after the explosion is proven to be an accident, and she accuses Picard of treason when he challenges her charges against an innocent crewman. Okay, so we've got 2 extra tiles here. One is a beautiful photograph of my hero, Gene Roddenberry, with the actress who plays Satie. And then we have one that starts with, I made a mistake in the drumhead, says Jonathan Frakes. Okay, so Jonathan Frakes directed this episode. So do you want to hear about the notoriety of the Salem witch trials with a photograph with Gene Roddenberry? Or do you want to hear about Johnny Fakes poop in the bed? Which one would you like to hear?
Screw him. I like Gene over Fakes any day.
Let's do it. So I'm going to read from 204. The notoriety of the 1692 Salem witch trials, in which 20 innocent men and women were executed as witches, is matched in America only by the 1954 Army McCarthy hearings held in the United States Senate Subcommittee on Investigations. In the hearings, Senator Joseph McCarthy, under the guise of anti-communism, accused his perceived opponents and a long list of others seemingly picked out of Hollywood phone book of political disloyalty. The televised spectacle, which blacklisted many innocent people, remains a low point in American history. and it served as the background material for the drumhead. God bless Jerry Taylor for writing that script, says Jonathan Frakes, who was assigned to the episode for his third time behind the camera. The script, of course, was exceptional, but it was a challenge because essentially it all takes place in one room. With courtroom dramas, there are only so many good camera angles, he explains. It's kind of like being on the Enterprise's bridge. There are only so many good shots, so you've got to hope the acting is good. That wasn't a problem with the drumhead. Getting Golden Globe and Emmy Award-winning British actress Jean Simmons to play tightly wound Admiral Nora Settee was a dream come true for Johnny Frakes. I cast her, he states enthusiastically. I had the privilege of spending a year with her when I was in North and South. She played my wife's, actress Jeannie Francis's, or Jenny, I'm not sure how she pronounces it, mom. I remember Jean from Guys and Dolls and from Hamlet. I've always thought she was arguably the classiest, most significant actor we had on the series, he says. She was wonderful in the scenes with Patrick Stewart, and she was still so gorgeous. That she was a classy doll goes without saying. But Frakes also discovered that Simmons was something else. Jean was a monstrous Trekkie. Yeah, they all say that. Almost every single person who's been on the show says that, despite what you hear other people say. Anyways, the show used to air on Wednesdays, I think. And on Thursdays, she had a group of people who would get together to talk about the episode from the previous night.
Wow.
That thoroughly surprised me. Oh, so she actually was a Trekkie. And that is all the block text has to say on this episode, with the exception of more from Johnny Frakes. So we'll just not do any more from Johnny Frakes. What did you think of the episode, and what did you think of the coverage, boss man?
That's interesting about Gene Simmons. I was going to make the obligatory kiss joke, but Minimus beat me to it. A good call.
Mr. Parrish.
Yeah. But yes, it's been my experience with people who like say I'm a big Trekkie or this person's a big there's someone who really, really does love the show and watches it a lot, watches it every time it's on, and is a big fan, but they're not like, a big time geek or nerd, whatever you want to use, to the hardcore level where they buy the merch, they read the novels, and at that time, but they do like to watch it and get together with a bunch of people to watch it. So it just depends on what you're looking at there. But it's still pretty cool story to find out that she was a big Trek watcher. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And I like it. So I think this is a prime Trek of a different sort from the Nth Degree. It's taking the courtroom drama or the drama of ideas, and just love the episode. I love this one. I think this episode talks about a lot of things that really hit close to home. Because I'm someone who does love freedom so much, and the closest I get to being religious is my love of freedom, and I like the way this episode deals with paranoia and things like that. I just think this is a well-written drama, very taut. It's a classic for a reason, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great episode.
There's some. Look, we pick on Patty Stew because of a lot of the horrible crap he has done, not only to his character and said some stupid things, and and what have you. And this show, there is a reason why it's not beloved by me like the original series is, or even respected as much as maybe Deep Space Nine is by me, or even Enterprise. It's because of its wild inconsistency, and they're wildly inconsistent with the character of Jean-Luc Picard. Mm-hmm. But when well written, he can be very good. So you got good Picard, you got bad Picard. This is top-notch Picard in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think so too.
I think, and again, it's all about the writing. The guy can pull it off when you give him the script. There's no question about it. He knocks it out of the park here. There are some pretty good, great moments throughout the years of the original of the Next Generation where Jean-Luc Picard nails it in terms of the speeches and things like that. He's a speech making kind of a character, and this has one of his best ones.
Mhm.
So I just love this episode for what it talks about, the ideas, and its adherence to freedom
Mhm.
and fighting paranoia, and how quickly, even in the 24th century, it's easy to slip back into that kind of paranoid delusion that this actress, brilliantly played by Gene Simmons, this character, I should say, could
Mhm.
slip into and stuff. And even using, I mean, some of the underhanded techniques she was using
Mhm.
were really scary. And I just love that what this episode does. Similar along the lines of something like Measure of a Man. It's just an episode about ideas, and it is about talking, but in the best of ways.
Mhm.
It's amazing
Yep.
how they can do nothing, not one bit of action, not one bit of really science fiction gobbledygook or anything like that, and still be so much more exciting than that something like Identity Crisis, which just bored the hell out of me.
Mhm. Yep. I think so.
So notes?
I don't really have a lot of notes for this, other than to say once again, we have a single author. And so I like to always point that out. Whenever we have a single author, we usually have a winner, winner, chicken dinner. And it's because of that relationship. Authors have wonderful relationships with their readers, and to pollute that by turning it into a team that's trying to figure out what we want to watch instead of just focusing on telling a good story. So this is another exemplification of that authorial relationship with the reader or the viewer. So I think it's great. I do find it odd that Picard didn't use Deanna Troi in court or in briefings. According to Jean's Bible, she would be in third in charge in this particular situation. And she would be needed at Picard's side, and certainly consulting with the Decker unit. So I do find that a little bit odd, but I do like the fact that it's a single author, and I do find it to be a very reminiscent of a TOS and the courtroom dramas that played out on TOS. As you know, I speak often of the fact that a courtroom drama is a really great way of putting a society or an idea on trial, and testing what that society or what those people believe, and it demonstrates a lot. So it's harder to tell those kinds of stories as stories outside of a courtroom drama. So it is a device to bring those issues bubbling up to the surface, to see what people think and feel about them. And other than that, I don't really have anything to say. I just think it's a solid episode.
I love how it speaks about, again, paranoia and fear and all these things like that, about it's very timely, in fact, how this is something that's always meant something to me. Holding someone responsible for the crimes of their ancestors or something like that
Mm-hmm.
is the kind of idea that you would expect from Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Hello there, the Catman, aka Dee Dee Myers. Good to see you.
Hey, Catman.
That's the kind of thing you want to deal with. You want Star Trek to deal with, and I just thought they did it extremely well in this episode. So let's see here. What is your rating of the Drumhead? And then I will give you mine. Then we will ask our wonderful chat.
Yeah, I give this one an A. And I would also like to say that, I think it is a little bit odd that Jerry Taylor compared it to like what was going on with McCarthy and all that stuff, because it is important to remember that just because a conspiracy wasn't happening before doesn't mean that a conspiracy isn't happening ever again or won't happen. So I would like to say that, although I do love your take on it, Clobby. I just think that there are sometimes, especially in our modern situations where there can be foreign interference in public discourse, and that it can be a little bit dangerous. And that's probably why I'm hesitant to speak about this episode, because I'm a polite person, and because I'm a polite person, I don't talk about sex, religion, or politics in public. I just think it's kind of not good. But I will say that just a slight warning, which is to say, if from Jerry Taylor's point of view and from Paula M. Block's coverage, just because you were wrong before doesn't mean that it's impossible to happen. So I'll say that, and let it fly, release it into the wild, giving it an A.
I also give it an A, and because again, this episode is powerful to me because of Picard's willingness to take on the establishment to defend the rights of a person who was basically going to be destroyed just because of his heritage and something like that. You can't get a lot more Star Trek than that.
That's right.
So that's just what really I found compelling about
Yes.
the episode more than anything else.
Yes.
And and again, the McCarthy trials, again, at that point when this episode was written, the McCarthy trials were only about a couple of decades old.
Yes.
They were still stinging pretty big, and regardless of what you thought of those things, you think what was going on back then, it was a pretty relevant thing.
Yes.
And it still is, but I mean, back then it was really still, this is 1991 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a couple of decades old.
Yep.
Still fresh in the mind. So go for it, my chat. What is your rating? And any comments you may have on the drumhead?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Eric K. the Bronze Silver says B.
Yeah.
I thought they solved all mental illness in this century. P. Hard.
Yeah.
Why are all admirals idiots? Yeah,
it's true.
Seems
it's
like
Admiral.
Other than seemed like every one of them become that when they get the magic promotion. Other than that, I loved it. Well, the other admiral wasn't though.
Yeah.
But the bad admiral trope is very annoying.
It is.
I'm absolutely with you on that one, Eric.
Yeah.
It's
the Mad
really
Admiral. Yeah. It's
really getting out of hand.
Yeah, it gets under a lot of people's skin. The Mad Admiral, they don't like it. So yeah.
Well, after a while they wore it out. They really wore it out in later Treks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think they really did it in original series. They had like one bad captain or two maybe or whatever. But yeah. So. Our Feliciano Raymond says, an allegory about the unscrupulous investigators can try to subvert the legal system in order to try to manufacture their villain, including try to subvert Worf to the cause. Scary. Bravo. Yeah, there's a lot of terrifying stuff in here, like a government just overstepping its bounds and things like that. And that really spoke to me. And Star Trek dealt with it very well, in my opinion, in this episode.
Yep.
Sandra Feliciano. It shows how easily well-meaning people can get sucked into persecuting others.
Exactly.
It's sad how someone so fixated on her past loses as she grows older and less relevant.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. I agree, Sandra. Yep.
Indeed. J.T. Kirk. A fantastic TNG episode. The back and forth between Worf and the Klingon were great. The investigation is pretty broken. Legal representation should have been provided during the hearing.
Yep.
Let me find your JT Kirk also says polygraph is not admissible in almost any court worldwide today, and a betazoid's intuition should be no different. This is easy to ignore and rewatches as the ending message is so good.
JT Kirk, what you're bringing up is actually one of the reasons why many people give this a 3 out of 10. They give it a really low rating. And it's also because it's repeated that her assistant it only has intuition. So once again, her assistant should have actually been telepathic. It's only Deanna who is empathic, and it is because she didn't inherit telepathy. So the fact that you know that and that you're a stickler on that, you're not alone. There are a lot of people out there who are willing to go against the grain and give this episode a low mark for that reason, and others. So point taken, great review.
I guess I hadn't read up on it. I've never seen low ratings for this episode. Hungry Boy says 12 Angry Men is co-opted by Star Trek, but we have no George C. Scott here. So trying to ride a bike with flat tires. Kangaroo Courts, but. Gotta find it. Wow, come on, where are you? I've adored Gene Simmons since her Ophelia role in the 1948 Hamlet film.
Nice.
And limit my review to being the silly monkey with a romantic crush.
Aw.
An A.
Lovely.
Well, you could put any rating you want, sir. The Comic Relief Crusader says C. Considering I was 19 at the time when this was released, I've found it to be a snore fest.
Yeah.
A witch hunt, of course, which was okay as storylines go, but been there, done that on TV.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
That's actually very common, and it's that review is more common than people think. Yep.
I never heard that before. Well done. Thank you so much. Snort of Ubus Cuber says B. This episode is somewhat weakened by presenting Admiral Sati as a clearly paranoid and unstable egotist chasing a phantom villain.
Yep.
Hang on, Snorty. Hang on, Snorty, snort. Oh, shoot. Wow, where are you, Snort? Hang on a second, Snortster. I'm finding you, buddy. Damn. Thing really jumped on me, dude. Sorry. All right, now let's try this again, man. When they're so far apart like that, sometimes it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
It might have been better had her suspicions had turned out to be true, but her method's entirely wrong. Instead, it came off as a thinly veiled Hollywood-style McCarthy allegory. What was that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And in the context of our modern times, that's a little bit, too tidy of what's actually happening in our modern times. So, yeah, I think that's why a lot of people are kind of like, I don't know.
I'm hearing new things because I never heard anyone criticize this episode before.
Yeah.
Number 1 of 4 here for Mr. Tickle Trunk. A++. In my top 5, the Drumhead is a masterclass on how to do a bottle one-room episode. This episode is filled to the brim with interpersonal conflict, moral questions, analysis of human behavior.
What a great review. I love this person.
I can go back to this episode at any point and wait for only a few minutes to find dialogue gem after dialogue gem. I won't gush more, but this episode is always culturally relevant because it's peak sci-fi. I agree it's always culturally relevant because, we as soon as we relax ourselves, freedom is only, as a certain president with the initials RR said, freedom's only ever a generation away. From being lost. Ronaldus Magnus said that. Callbacks to witch hunts and the first speech censured, the first thought forbidden, the first freedom denied, change us all irrevocably. Chef's kiss on Kiss. Chef's kiss. Hang on one second.
I love this person. This person is so smart and wonderful to be around.
This episode embodied the spirit of Gene's idea of personal responsibility and the goals of freedom in a true liberal society, not the USA definition of liberal. I'd write a 20-parter, but I digress. Well, you have done phenomenally well, and we thank you so much for that, Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Love it.
I'm right there with you, buddy. Right there. I feel the exact same way about this episode. The Catman, a.k.a. Dee Dee Myers, says, Clobby, I give it an A. Great episode.
Hey, nice to see you. Tell your wife we said hello.
Yes, I hope the wife is doing well, my friend. B for Zathras. Denny Crane would have broken Picard in 30 seconds. Denny Crane. Make sure I didn't miss anybody up top. Okay, let's see here. Hang on, everyone. Hang on. I'm finding it. Okay, number one. Take it away. We have our wonderful communications officer here.
Hello, you beautiful
Thank you,
nerd.
Reverend Jill. Go for
She's
it.
got a 4-parter, and she's giving this one an A. She said, this episode shows what happens when you allow fear and security to supersede freedoms, but also had to balance my own curiosity in allowing the investigation to go further, like Worf. The Klingon using the optical reader to transmit information is the fascinating sci-fi concept, as was the reveal that the explosion was an accident caused by a defect. Sometimes a piece of chocolate cake is just a piece of chocolate cake.
Yep.
It questions whether betazoids should be allowed to incriminate someone based on emotion, which is a wonderful point that I'm surprised hasn't come up sooner. The blatant racism of an admiral and her associate who claim lying about your heritage to be indications of criminality was surprising. How'd she get so far with such non-Federation values? I love it.
That was 4? Was that 4?
Yeah, no. that was excellent anti-derivative, Jill.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jill. Excuse me. Phantom Outsider says, B. Man, Sister Sarah Brown became really angry in later life. Get her a few, what? Dulce de leche? What the hell? Delish? What the hell is that?
No, dolce de leche.
Will you stop that kind of wordy stuff there, Phantom? Boy, about just, okay. You're asking for it. Your agonizer, please. To settle her down terrible form in court suddenly, your family heritage can convict you. Really?
Yeah.
Basically, she's a as usual, Phantom. I'll get to you next one as soon as I possibly can, buddy. Michael Beacom says, A. Is that a minus or like a separator? I can never tell sometimes.
Well, he put it in parentheses, so it's a plain A.
Gotcha. Just, yeah. Science fiction is about ideas, and so was this. Also proof that Frakes is a better director than actor when given a good script. See Leverage. Oh, yeah, he's directed a lot of stuff. I've seen Leverage, a little bit of it. Yeah, another courtroom drama. Stop now.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like it. Hungry Boy says, I prefer Greek to Italian. Please don't zap me, Mark. I also prefer Greek to just about all the other languages. But the thing is, I mean, we're dealing in our world with over 7,099 languages. That's a lot of languages, and so it's difficult in science fiction when you're dealing with so many of them. I think sometimes when I read a page, I look up from it and I say to Clubby, how many languages was that? And it's like 15 or 20, and you're reading one paragraph, so it's kind of crazy. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you, boss man. Go ahead.
No. Rod Thunderheart says, I do remember this episode, and the writing is classic Star Trek, A+.
Nice.
Let's see. Yes, it is, sir. Thank you, Rod Thunderheart. Thank you for being here, Nick Weiser. Always good to see you, brother.
Night, Nick. Send our love to your family.
Indeed, buddy. I'll talk to you soon, man. Mr. Angel says, A. Hanging Judge Justice in Space. Character murder. It's modus operandi. 1984. 5 minutes. If hate Beria on ice vibes. Scary stuff. A thing of all times. Impressive episode.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. It's very timely with what's going on with a lot of things today, especially in social media. Court of public opinion. Adam Outsider. MacArthur hearings were in the 50s, almost 40 years past. A one-person tribunal, apparently Starfleet, is hurting for lawyers, or those that understand law and civil rights. The most amazing thing. Comic Relief Crusader says, however, now that I'm older, I can see what is happening in today's society, and it's a cause for concern. Agreed.
Yes.
It really is.
There's so much I want to say, but because I'm polite, I'm not going to say anything.
This is a here we go, Steve again. Let's see here. Let's see. One of two. Y'all are going to hate this. Exclamation point, exclamation point. Another preachy trek with another two-dimensional bureaucrat with a simplistic worldview.
Love you, Steve.
I almost still love you, Steve. I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
Cyber Soldier
I still
just
love
walks
you.
through the door. Good evening, Cyber Soldier. It is so nice to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Cyber Soldier, welcome. Always a pleasure. Thank you. Oh, there he is.
Steve Mitchum did more than one post. Ooh, we really
Yeah.
did get his goat.
We
I love it.
picked him.
Read it, boss man.
Just once can we have the crew members battling their own moral dilemmas internally? I don't know. I hope so. It would be more interesting crew. It'd be more interesting crew if there were members who. Oh, he's got a third one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Vehemently disagreed on these issues and carried their animosity with him going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not the kind of. I don't know. Roddenberry wanted people to be nice to each other. I don't know what to tell you.
But point taken. Point
Oh
taken.
no, I'm with you, but Roddenberry did kind of want his people not to have a lot of fights and stuff like that kind of stuff going on. So
JT Kirk, when your society is not based on money, the supply of dirtbag lawyers seems to have really dried up. I love you, JT. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
No. You're good. Let's see here. Okay, take it away. Number one for our buddy Enigmatic Drop Bear.
Hello, Enigmatic Drop Bear. He's got a two-parter. He's given this an A+. He says, this is another wonderful piece of allegorical storytelling where our captain resumes the role he excels in as an advocate for individual liberties. Oh, very well wrought. Very well wrought. This time, in a McCarthy-style inquisition, he adroitly articulates what can be foul, a hegemony, when hubris takes root in its leadership. Wow. Wow. I love you, ED. And yeah, exactly. And it's that hegemony that is the most troubling aspect of this type of rhetoric, to assign someone otherness, or to assign them guilt, and then to group them in that guilt. It's terrifying, and that type of social power, that type of dominance, that type of supremacy is terrifying. Zathras is leaving. Good night.
Oh, Zathras! Crap. Good night, Zathras. Be good, buddy. Derata Bear says, yeah, I give this a C. Good acting from some, but otherwise kind of meh.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, Neurot.
Phantom Outsider continues. In this episode was the fact that with the first link, as he called it, speech has not been introduced prior to this episode, showing the lack of legal precedence in 21st century, in 23rd century. Okay. Well, it's the 24th now, but yes. Okay, let me find this other one here. I'll find it as soon as possible, buddy. Fabio 100 says, A-. This episode shows Picard as the captain we like, diplomat, moral leader, and tactitious.
Mm-hmm.
And not a silly Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, it's quite a departure, isn't it?
Yes, he's not a silly Robin Hood at all in this one. That's right, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Freedom cost $1.05. I love that song. Freedom isn't free. It's a hefty. I can't say the word. Oops, I almost.
Freedom definitely is not free.
But if I'd sang that word, it would have been naughty and I got in trouble probably. Even though we'll probably get limited anyway. Even though we haven't done anything. Phantom Outsider says, Worf, realizing he was steeped up easily by a zealot, but then Klingons aren't known for calm, rationalized. No, they're not.
What a great post.
Hence the relevance of pain sticks in their culture for also book eating.
Don't you have a book you have to eat, Mr. Woof?
Yeah. Jesus. I've broken bigger men than you, Picard.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, what did Snail Messiah say? Snail Messiah is leaving. Can we go back that?
I don't know.
I am
I'm
spent.
oh.
It's 6:45 here.
Yes.
I need my snail-licious beauty sleep. Be safe, everyone, and have a beautiful and warm Christmas. Love you all. Snail Messiah,
Yes.
Merry Christmas, you wonderful human being. I'm so happy that I met you, and I'm so happy that you're a part of this community. I hope you have a lovely, lovely holiday. Mwah!
Take care, Snail Messiah. Thank you so much. I'm almost, let's see if we got any more of these, basically. I don't want to miss anyone. Hang on. Kal-El, did I get yours already? Because my memory's garbage. There's Wolfie. We'll go with Wolfie and just let me know if we have already. Maybe Raquel can see the chat as it goes. She can tell me if you answer that. Rating A from Wolfie. Star Trek courtroom episodes usually work pretty well. Interesting storytelling with making our enlisted crew member a scary Romulan. Yes. Mm-hmm. That guy, I've seen that guy in other stuff. Best part of this episode is when Picard dunks on the Admiral with her father's own words. That was great.
Yeah.
I really hate it when other Starfleet personnel are the bad guys. Yeah, look, I'm totally with that too. That does get a little bit on the annoying side. I'm with you. This cliche with baddie admirals does make for good storytelling. Wait till we get to Admiral Nechayev. Well, remember, the other admiral was pretty, he didn't say much, but he was pretty rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear you. Let's see. The drumhead. Cyber Soldier says, the drumhead is one of my favorite episodes of this season.
Oh, good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Cyber Soldier.
Nice.
Let's see here. I'm almost to the end, but I know this chat. Oh, there we go. Monica D with the C, Chief Engineer says, A+, brilliant Trek courtroom drama exemplifies the rights of free speech and a fair trial. This episode will always be timeless as it defends free speech with its current, which is currently under attack. Yes, mm-hmm. It is.
But I did like the comment that you made, Mark D with the C, which I'm not going to repeat because it's political, and you put it in the live chat. I think it's a little bit dangerous the way that Paula M. Block talks about this episode rather than the way people are talking about it in the chat. As people continue to talk about it in the chat that way, I think it's a very positive and very beautiful episode. But as you so very nicely stated within the chat, there's a danger in looking at it the way that Paula M. Block does, for sure. So I loved that comment that you put out there right off the hop, Mark D with the C. You are a good friend and a smart man, and you mind your P's and Q's, and you make sure that you cross everything off, and I just love it. Thank you.
Indeed, buddy. The first speech censured, first thought forbidden, first freedom denied, changes us all irrevocably. Let's see. What jumped on me? Hang on. Hang on, dude. The damn thing jumped on me. That was 2. Okay, there we go. As a commentary on the communist blacklisting in the 50s, it must be noted that after this episode was written and the Soviet Union collapsed, KBG files were released.
There's that comment, and you reposted it. Good for you, Mark. Thank you, sir.
It turned out many Hollywood actors and groups had ties and were funded by the Soviets.
Thank you, Mark.
And a lot of people in government too. So we do need eternally vigilant what we do. I think you need to be eternally vigilant while protecting the innocent.
It's true. And, I'm going to go a little bit further than I would normally go, but it's because I appreciate Mark so much. And Mark sees the same danger I see in this episode. And I'm just going to say this. When you look at, and this is usually for Clubby's Clubhouse, not for this show, but as a communications and technology scholar, I would just like to say that that CT or critical theory and all forms of critical theory, including critical race theory, are all come from the presuppositions of Marxist hegemony. So that's actually built into that mechanism for examining social sciences. So it is a tool used by scholars to examine social science. It's a philosophy. It's a theory. It's a tool we use. So it's very important to realize that CT, including CRT, is embedded in Marxist ideals and in Marxist dogma. And that's not opinion, that's a fact. That's the birth of that particular implement. That is the presupposition of that social sciences idea, teaching, and use. And I think more people should be made aware of that. And I would just like to thank my wonderful friend Mark D with a C for calling on a very intellectual, trepidatious, careful, quick-witted response to the block text take on this particular episode. Mark, you are marvelous. I love you so much.
You are marvelous. You are indeed. You are indeed, buddy. Oh, did you see that news report that just went over the wire, everyone? Wesley sucks, just so you all know. Yep.
Oh, look it. And everybody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. Mr. Tickle Trunk, I absolutely love you. A hungry boy, yes. Just all these great comments. Raymond, yes. Do you see why I sort of shut up my mouth and didn't want to say anything? Just wanted to sort of just cover my mouth and not say a thing at all. It is quite dangerous, when you supplant or not supplant, when you plant a seed in something and you're completely unaware of what's going to grow. That's what I sort of see happening here. I see people with a bag of seeds and they're completely unaware of what is going to come from those seeds. So I'm so happy that Mark said something and he did it in a way which enabled me to not get tangled in it, but be able to broach it. So he's just very intelligent. He's a good friend and I just adore him. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, Kal-El. I was wondering if I'd missed it, but yeah, please repost it. I'm so sorry. I did not see it. Let me get back in mode there because I started thinking about it. I mean, hold on, you're not the only one I missed, but damn. If you can repost that, I don't know how I missed it, buddy. But yeah, we'll wait. So I only got one more to go there. I don't understand how I missed that one. It's stupid. I mean, that's me being an idiot with the chat there, and I apologize, buddy.
My cats want me to go to bed. Good night, everybody. Good night, D-Bud Martin. And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my friend. Merry Christmas.
Hey, D-Bud, take it easy, bro. Merry Christmas to you. I hope we see you before Christmas, but yes. Okay, let's see here. Kal-El says A+++++. An incredibly well written and acted episode by all those involved. It only proves the morality play aspect that is true Star Trek. Yes, agreed. Let's see here. Seeing how quickly an accident turned to sabotage just to fit the narrative was very effective. The warning at the end of the episode is also very appropriate. Yes. Mm-hmm. It would greatly benefit humanity to never again forget the very somber reminder regarding the price of freedom. I'm so glad we got that from you there because I thought I was missing one and I just wasn't sure who it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. It looks like Michael Beacom. Are you heading out as well, sir? We're close to done anyway. We're just going to say goodbyes and all that stuff. But we're done with our episodes for the evening. So let's see here. Michael Beacom, thank you for being here, my friend. Appreciate it.
Good night, Michael.
Get some rest there, sir.
What does he say here? It's 12:01 a.m. and I have to be at work in 5.5 hours, so I have to call it a night. Thank you for being a great captain to the evening, or for being a great cap to the evening. Sorry. Merry Christmas to all, and see you in the next chat very soon, I hope. Michael Beacom, sending you a big old Christmas hug, and we'll see you in the new year, fine sir.
And Sherry, if you're leaving, love to you and love and hugs to you. Hope we will see you soon. But I think she said take care of everyone. So I think she must be running. We're about to run right. We're not too far behind you. But thank you, Sherry, for being here. Thank you all for being here. Before we say our goodbyes, and before I do some show notes, I would love my wonderful first officer to tell us a little bit about her literary works.
Well, that's really kind of you. Thank you. I always feel so embarrassed promoting my stuff here. But yeah, folks, I'm selling my short stories from a short story collection. You can get them on Amazon. They're, I think, 74 cents American a piece. And if you like The Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits, Philip K. Dick, if you like things like Edgar Allan Poe, like authors like Edgar Allan Poe, you might like my work. And I would really appreciate your support.
Well, please, everyone, go check that out. We have many of our friends who already have, and leave a review, please, also, if you go check that out. Thank you so much. For the show notes, thank you, Communications Officer. These are the next episodes in the new year. Of course, we'll be gone for 2 weeks, everyone. By the way, that's one show note. From Saturday Night Star Trek, that is. I'll still be streaming all over the place. But from Saturday Night Star Trek, we will be off Christmas night, which is a week from tonight, and of course New Year's night, which I guess is a week from that night. So I guess that would put us at something like the first or the second week, the second Saturday of January 2022. We will return with episodes Half-Life, The Host, The Mind's Eye, and In Theory. Yeah. So thank you so much for that. Our wonderful friend Jill. Let's see. What do I have here? Show notes tomorrow night. It's almost tonight. Well, it depends on where you are. Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 on the East Coast, and so on and so forth. Clobbering Times movie review special, Spider-Man No Way Home. We will be spoilering it up. So if you've already seen it, you want to see some talk about it, or if you don't care about spoilers, either way, please join us, 6 p.m. Central, that is. Again, the great Mark D with the C, our wonderful engineer, will be here. And the great J-Man and his compatriot, Sean, Decepticon, and maybe even the extraordinary Nick Weiser, if he can make it. We don't know, but we got him on there anyway, just in case, and we hope he does. So we're looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Monday night, the great Stone Loki joins me for an animation review that we do once a month. And this one is going to be Christmas with the Superheroes. We're going to review 4 amazing, wonderful, animated Christmas episodes from various superhero cartoons, from Batman the Animated Series, from Justice League Action, and from Batman Brave and the Bold, of course. So that is going to be a lot of fun. And then for the rest of the week, let's see. Tuesday, the Comic Book Roundtable on Loki's Roundtable will have a Christmas reunion. And I'm not sure about when the Global Geek Gang will gather, but it'll either be Wednesday or Tuesday. I'm going to figure that out. Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to figure that out and let you all know. And I hope we'll have a Clobby's Clubhouse if Mark and Raquel are game. If not, we'll see. We'll try to do one of those. But I'll definitely be streaming. Now, next Saturday, it won't be Saturday Night Star Trek, but I'll be here. Hey, Cam, look at Cam showed up.
Hey!
Next Saturday night, I will be here hanging out. Just it may just be like an open Clobby hangs out with you for Christmas, or whatever. But I will hang out. So if you're in the neighborhood, stop on by. So anyway, so are we ready to say our goodbyes to our fantastic friends?
We are. Let's say Merry Christmas to each and every person who has honored us by being a part of this community, who has followed us this year, who has been by our side and given us such great comments, such great company, camaraderie. I mean, it's all there. This community is simply outstanding. I'm going to miss you folks over the next 2 weeks. You mean the world to me, and I cannot wait to see you in the coming year. Before we start to call people out directly, I just want to say how much I have appreciated Eric K and Chris Persia being here to support us and to protect us through the whole year, and to all of the other wrenches who have joined in the fight against all the crap that goes on in these chats. You guys have been a sensational. It's not even something you get paid for, and yet you continue to show up and just be so kind. And you've been way more than wrenches. You guys have been ambassadors, and I just appreciate you so much. And I cannot wait to see you in the next year. Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, enigmatic drop bear. Thank you so much. I'm just honored beyond belief, beyond words. You were too kind, my friend. Thank you for the $14.99 super chat. It says, Captain Clobby, have a great Christmas and a great New Year. And a great New Year. You do the same, my friend. You have been just extraordinary here hanging out with us here. And we really do appreciate you. And he does another one.
Oh my gosh.
First Officer Raquel, have a great Christmas and New Year. Same to you, enigmatic drop bear.
To you as well.
You and like everyone here, you bring us so much that just having you all, your friendship, hanging out with us, all that stuff. It's just it means more to us than we could possibly express, or at least I can't. Maybe Raquel can. Yeah. So you're just amazing, every one of you. You're fantastic, and I just think the world of you. What a great crew we have. The Clobberers here on the Starship Clobber Prize. Okay, I'll think of a better name, I promise.
735 Club Forever. You are Roddenberry's Rangers. Love you all.
Yes, indeed. You're fantastic.
Hey, Tom.
Hey. Yeah, we got to start. Okay, everyone, we're about to start over again because Tom just popped in. Tom, good to see you, my friend. We were just about to say our big goodbyes and everything to everyone who popped in. Oh, there's Eric K with another. Thank you, Eric K, for this $5 super chat, Clobby. Buy yourself something. My gift will not arrive in time. Hey, your gift is you're here. You're here all the time, buddy. That's we appreciate you. We have a special guest. We have another member of the crew, the great Mark D with a C.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everyone.
Our chief engineer has popped in to help us say our goodbyes to you all.
Mark.
Great show tonight. Great show tonight. Yeah, as usual.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for giving me the chance to say hi to everyone and good night. Well, and wish them a happy holiday. My voice is kind of going, but it's been a great week.
Really? Mine's been gone, buddy. Mine's been gone.
Yep.
Well, you know what? We're going to say our goodbyes now. And we got another one. Got another super chat. JT Kirk, you were too kind, my friend. You've been such a great friend of the show as well. $5 super chat. You were too kind. Thank you. He says, this show is the highlight of my week, and I can't believe how many friends I've made here in a short time. Thanks, Clobby and Raquel. Merry Christmas. Oh, my God. Those words.
Merry Christmas.
Your words mean more than you can know, JT. You've been a great friend. So many of you have been such great friends. I wish we were all just sitting around hanging out somewhere.
I had so much fun with you this year, JT Kirk. I think you're aces. I just enjoy your company immensely. And I'm honored that you continue to join us here week after week and just take the time to send these amazing comments and just share your knowledge. You're amazing. Thank you.
Archvillains on Trek Night, the Toy Man hacked in. Yes, he did. For the $2 super chat. Thank you so much once again, Eric. Max Redstone didn't make it tonight. Did you say you had some limericks or no?
Yeah, he sent them to your email. He couldn't be here tonight. Yeah, but it's okay. We don't have to read them tonight, but it is important that everyone knows that I have encouraged Max Redstone to publish a Saturday night Star Trek limericks a guide. So he's actually going to do episode by episode. He's going to record all of his limericks and he's going to publish them. And it is a great honor for Clobby and I. And I think it's an honor for all of you as well, because so cool that all of those wonderful limericks that he writes that make us all laugh so hard. They're all going in a book.
I just want to say, look, I know we were about to get out of here, folks, but I do have, hello, the Newport Tarts. I do have Max's limericks. I didn't realize that he'd send them to me. For each episode, who wants to hear them? Let me know. Just put an M in the chat. Put an R in the chat for Redstone if you want to hear his limericks.
Yeah.
Because I know everyone needed to get out of here, but I didn't realize.
We don't want to go. We're going to miss this for 2 weeks, right? What are we going to do? I mean,
yeah, it's going to be 2 weeks.
It's already been 11 episodes without Wesley Crusher and God. So I just want to give a big shout out to Mr. Angel. He set up a channel for my Discord for my YouTube channel, and he went above and beyond, and what a great guy, and he offered to do one for you too, Clobbering Time. So he really spent a lot of time and helped me out. He's going to continue to help me out. So special shout out to Mr. Angel, and thank you very much for that.
Yeah,
all right, folks. We'll do this quickly, then we'll say our goodbyes. I'm going to go through all 4 limericks that Max sent us, because we all love a Max Redstone Star Trek The Next Generation limerick. So, with what little voice I have left, thanks, Max. Here we go. Identity crisis. on Tarkanin 3, Geordi had an analyzer, but picked up a biological colonizer. He transformed in pain, but why should he complain? He could finally see without his visor.
Wow, that's good. Good stuff.
My goodness. Next episode, the nth degree. Reg Barkley gets shocked in the neck. It takes over the ship from the holodeck. He makes a fine pass on Counselor Cameltoe's ass. Then finishes a game of chess in check. Wow.
Oh, JT Kirk, you're a nerd. You really are a nerd. I can't believe you just did snaps. Then you come from Nerdville, you big nerd. I love you. Yes. Snaps. You've been to poetry night, hey, baby?
My eye's not on the chat, so you guys got to watch it for me in case anything happens. Yep. Okay. Cupid. Vash drops. Excuse me. Hang on 1 second here. 1 second. Damn it.
There you go. And then you got to read. You got to kind of read it a few times in your head first to get the rhyme right. Right. Yep.
All right. Ready? Vash drops in on Jean-Luc Picard's neighborhood. So Q sees a chance for no good. He abducts the crew again and makes them all merry men. But at least we get an English Robin Hood. Oh,
another 10 out of 10. Yep.
Well done. Finally, everyone, the Drumhead by the great Max Redstone. Here we are. The warp core chamber door was structurally flawed, but Starfleet deployed their conspiracy squad. They accused him, her, and me, everyone but Wesley, until Captain Picard had Admiral Satie declawed. Wow!
Gee.
And for those of you wondering, snaps are what you do at a poetry reading. And so JT Kirk and I may actually be the 2 biggest nerds here.
Well done, Max Redstone. Dude, if you're out there, if you hear this later, man, oh man.
Yeah, those are awesome.
They're perfection. I absolutely love them.
He's incredible. We miss Max being here, but we just incredible stuff. So big shout outs, of course. Well, the crew is here already. The wonderful, my wonderful friend RM Briggs, my first officer. You were amazing. Mark D with a C, thank you so much. And
Thank
shout
you.
outs to our other crew member, Anti-Derivative Jill.
Yes.
We love you, Jill. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, big shout out to for that contribution from Max Redstone. Shout outs to all of you here, my friends. The great Eric K. The great Chris Persia.
Yes.
The Felicianos, Raymond and Sandra. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Steve Mitchum, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Hope you and Maddie are having a wonderful weekend.
Have a wonderful Christmas with your beautiful, beautiful little girl. I'm so happy that I got to meet you this year. And yeah, have a wonderful time.
Indeed. Snorta Poopas, Scuba, buddy.
Snorta Poopers!
Cuber.
Merry Christmas, Bear.
The Comic Relief Crusader. Thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Good night, Alberta.
I guess he had to cut out. I don't know, but our great buddy Lord Thoth was here. Always a big shout out to the great Lord Thoth. Avon lives. Long live the Legion.
And Mrs. LT as well, because I know sometimes he
Yes.
throws us on the podcast and plays us, and his wife listens in as well. So I just wanted to say to all the LTs, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Absolutely. Wolfie 762. Thank you so much, my friend.
Extra special one for Christmas.
What she
It's an
said.
extra special one for Christmas.
Well, hey, you have nothing to apologize for, Comics Relief Crusader. You did nothing wrong, buddy. Don't even go there. Yeah, man, we just love
be
having
silly.
you here, man. Yeah, don't be silly at all. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're
No
wonderful.
problem.
We love you. No problem at all. Don't worry, darling.
The wonderful, lovely Sherry. Sherry, big Merry Christmas to you and your family, and big hugs. I hope I'll be streaming the rest of the week. I hope to see you there whenever I am. But big love and hugs to you. We appreciate you, and
It's going to be tough for her.
We
for
love
this
seeing
year.
your beautiful face every time you show up. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be tough for you, and I want you to know that. And I feel that for you, and I want you to know that I'm holding you in my heart, and I'm sending you a big old hug, and Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Kal-El, buddy. Always a pleasure, man. Great to see you here.
Yeah.
Mr. Angel, the chef, always love seeing you here. Thank you.
I'm so happy you were out of hospital for Christmas. I'm so happy you're on the mend, and yeah, just sending all my love to you, and Merry Christmas, friend.
Indeed. And to call him Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete and family. I love you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Indeed. The Dadman clan popped in for a second. So Dadman walking and Mrs. Dadman and the clan. Yay.
Batman Clan.
Let's see here. The Catman, a.k.a. Dee Dee Myers. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for popping in.
And wife and pussycats. So to all the pussycats, to Dee Dee Myers and to his wife, we say Merry, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, sir.
Indeed. Let's see here. She texted, she contacted me earlier. I don't think she made it. She may have been out there, but I know some of her friends did. So a big shout out and Merry Christmas and love and hugs to the Janet from another planet.
Interplanet Janet, she's a galaxy girl.
Indeed. D-Bud Martin, Man of Iron, buddy. Always a pleasure.
Merry Christmas.
Phantom Outsider, brother. Thank you as always. Great to have you here, bud.
Merry Christmas.
The extraordinary Hungry Boy. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. We
What a
really
great friend
appreciate
you've
you.
turned out to be, and an expert. And I mean, you have a very wonderful niche where your expertise is just amazing, and I appreciate you bringing that expertise here all the time, and just teaching us, and just being wonderful, and just being so bright. You're so articulate, and I enjoy your company immensely. Merry Christmas, Hungry Boy.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Enigmatic Drop Bear, thank you so much. You've become a wonderful friend here as well, and we
Yeah.
really appreciate you.
Merry Christmas, wonderful friend.
Oh, thank you so much for the super sticker, Jill. You are wonderful. We love you, and you're a wonderful addition to this crew. So,
Is your daughter okay now, honey?
thank you
Did you
for
give
all
us an
you do.
update?
Yes, thank you for all you do, and please let us know how your youngin is doing.
Yeah, is your daughter okay now? Does she just have a tummy ache? Is she okay? Anyway, we're thinking of her, honey.
Absolutely. Mr. Tickle Trump, my friend, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all you do and your contributions. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
so
good to
much.
meet you. You've just been a riot, and you're such a great friend.
Absolutely, absolutely. And our good buddy Stuart Mitchell, always remember, never forget, Dolly had braces.
Railroad tracks. We love you, Stuart. Merry Christmas.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Let's see here. Let's see here. Terrell 72, thank you so much. It was great to have you here. Yes, okay, still sick, but all right. Well, that's good.
Good.
Kids get sick. That's the way it goes. But as long as she's going to be okay, that's the important thing.
Merry Christmas, Tyrell.
Snail Messiah had to run, but hail to Snail Messiah. Whether you're here or not, I mean, we always like to give you the shout out.
Yes.
And I promise no garlic bread near you this year.
Go.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Keep those escargot folks to yourself there, Mark.
Yeah, these
and you
Swiss
too,
French.
Scuba Pete.
Yeah. Yes. Nierat and Axamanda Bear, my good friend. We always appreciate you here. Thank you so much.
Great reviews tonight. Merry Christmas, my friend. It was good. It was so good to meet you this year, and I'm so happy you're a part of this community.
I think Zathras had to leave, but shout out to Zathras nonetheless.
Crap. It's Christmas.
Zathras. Fabioki 100, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you.
You were terrific tonight. Merry Christmas.
Mazerus, thank you so much for being here.
Merry Christmas, Mazerus.
I know J-Man had to run, but big shout out to my buddy J-Man. We'll be hanging out with him tomorrow.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Pop Culture Republic, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's a new friend, and what a smart and fun and wonderful person to have around. Merry Christmas to you.
Indeed. Just Joe 47, Jobber Buddy. Jobber, if you show up for the Spider-Man review tomorrow night, I don't know if you're here, I have a surprise for you.
Nice.
The only Jobber will really get it, but he'll know. So. Tim's Talk that popped in earlier. Thank you, buddy. Keely Chow, Roll Tide, and Merry Christmas to your Tide Rollers. Sci-Fi For Me TV, our new friend. Thank you for popping in. Always a pleasure. Michael Beacom, I think had to run out, but Michael Beacom, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Our new friend, the Woke Breaker. We appreciate seeing you. We always love new friends coming in. Mega Cropper, thanks so much for being here as always. It is always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Thank you.
Christmas.
The great JT Kirk, buddy.
Yay.
Appreciate you, man.
Merry Christmas.
Captain James T. Skywalker popped in. Good to see you, buddy.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
He had to leave, but he's a great buddy and always gets a shout out here. The great 32 flavors of Nick Weiser. Nick, a true friend.
Yeah, we'll see you before Christmas. Thank you for stopping by, honey.
Hail, Aaron Baker.
Yes.
Thank you. Our great pal, your Muslim uncle. Your Muslim uncle, I hope you're doing well. If you're hearing this, please have a wonderful Christmas time, whether you celebrate it or not. Just have a wonderful time in this season, please.
That's right.
Rod Thunderheart, buddy. Thank you. Good to see you.
We love you, Alberta. Merry Christmas.
Minimus Prime says he's not here, but I say his name anyway because he's Minimus Prime. Cyber Soldier, thank you for popping in. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, it was great to see you.
Yes, and thank you for always being here and always lurking. Cam, I do read everything that you write, and I do know that you lurk here regularly. And I just want to say thank you for supporting this channel and for supporting this show. And if you celebrate Christmas, I just want to say very Merry Christmas to you and a very Happy New Year.
The Newport TARDIS popped in, I noticed. Thank you. Great to see you. And of course, last but never least, the great Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge popped in, and we're always honored to see you, Tom. Tom, I hope you're doing well if you're still hearing this, brother, and hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Hope I see you before that somewhere on one of these streams.
Yep.
But thank you, Tom. Take care. So everyone, I don't know that the Briscoe video, Mark. Do you think I would get struck if I played that?
Well, I clipped it. There's 2 versions. There's a short one, but they're all different clips clipped together.
I only have the one you sent me.
Okay, well, I think that one should be okay. But I
It's
do have a
pretty
shorter
long.
one. I have a shorter one I can play if you want me to
It's too
share
late
the screen.
now.
I'll be safe. Well, I can share my screen.
Are you sure it's shorter?
Yeah, I just have like a 10-second one.
Oh, you sent me a long one.
Well, I did send you a long one, but that's like 5. We'll talk about it after. But that's like 5 clips, all chopped up.
I guess we can't get okay. If it's a short one, this is us saying goodbye to you. Even though it's a Star Trek show tonight, saying goodbye to you with a show that you have to share it or what? That none of you know about.
Let me share it. Yep. Let me pull up the shorter one. Yep.
But it says it conveys the message, and then we'll play the credits and get out of here. So everyone. I mean, if I'd known, you could have sent me that one because this is.
Well, I thought I sent both, but
you might have, but I was busy doing this one. I didn't check.
Yeah, it's the middle of the show, right? So let me. No one will mind this.
I'll just I could just play this one and then cut it short with the credits.
Or just
that.
Yeah, or just stop it after a couple of seconds.
I'll just start this one.
Yep.
And then after they say the line that I need them to say.
Okay. Yeah, start the credits. Yep.
All right, man, I'm sorry about all the trouble, everyone. Everyone playing a little clip of 2 characters from a great show that didn't last long enough, but well, you'll see. And then our end credits. So have a great night, everyone.
Briscoe, Bowler, I hope to see you in action again soon.
Count on it. Well, maybe after a brief hiatus.